the classiest place on earth. I hope you enjoyed the morning tunes. Good morning. I hope your evening was lovely. I repainted cabinets. I cleaned the fuck out of my kitchen and repainted all the cabinets last night. So why? Nobody knows. ADHD is a fucking mystery. I hope you're doing wonderful. I also, oh my God, my dudes. This is really important.
Did you take your joy today?
That's
Never
important.
forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet.
I got a lot of shit done, Mickey. I mean, I've told you about my house. It kind of like, I think honestly what happened is after they rebuilt it, after it burned down like 30 years ago, it's just settled. And you know, my yard is like mud. So it's like, as you go around my house, all the window frames and door frames, they're just off a little bit. Like they're cracking away from the wall. So I've slowly been going through my house for the past like 3 months and puttying. What's it called? Spackle. Like, you know, you mix it with water, that putty shit, and like spackling everything, trying to seal up the walls and everything. And I've finally gotten to the point where I can start painting it. And it just looks so nice. I've been living in like a construction zone. And it's like, none of it's fast. Thank you for the biddies, Kendo. Happy Sunday and good morning. Thank you. It's like you have to do the putty and then you have to wait for it to dry for like 48 hours before you can do anything else. And then you got to do putty again. And then you got to wait for it to dry. And then you got to do that. And then you got to prime it. And then you got to do this. Then you got to sand it. And it's just like, it's not a one-day project. It's so fucking infuriating. But I finally got to the point where I can paint. And I painted some of it. And my cabinets in my kitchen just look so fucking good. My next move is to paint all my baseboards. And I am so excited. They just look so nice. I mean, it's crazy. Like my kitchen, all the cupboards and everything, they're just white. It's basic shit. But you don't realize like how dingy that white has gotten until you put on a new coat of paint. I painted one cupboard and it looked like it was a different color compared to all the other cupboards. And I scrubbed them like they were clean as fuck. Just dingy because it's old, but God, it looks nice. That was nice. But important. Viata, good morning. I don't have a bowl packed. I cleaned the fuck out of I cleaned my bowl. I soaked my bowl. I took the advice and soaked it. Look at that clean ass neck. Look at that crystal clear fucking neck right there. Feeling good about that one. I got a little bowl and probably grind up weed. I don't know. I don't have any new weed today. I haven't gotten. Nope. I think I have everything that you've seen before. Yeah. Normal stuff. I think this is monkey berries. It smells like monkey berries. That's what I ground up yesterday. I think that's what that is. And monkey berries is. Jesus Christ. Not that one. It's a certain amount of THC. I don't know where the thing is. Oh, well, we'll pack a bowl and we'll worry about it later. Good morning, Solipsis. How are you? I know this is base. Forgive me. Oh my God, you look so pretty. Thank you. It's not base. I think we should make it normal to compliment each other and not be weird about it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good morning. Fixing painting drywall feels like it should be easy. Right? Like they're like, you just spackle and paint it. It should be. No. The curing time. Everything has a and especially if you want to do like crispy. I don't know if you've ever done like kitchen stuff anywhere where it has to be wet. So like above my kitchen sink, there's a window, and that window has like the whole window's like frame sill is like out of alignment. It looks like it's kind of not drastic. I'm not like living in a house from fucking series of unfortunate events, but it's a little bit, just enough where I can see where it's like cracking away from the wall if I look close. And so that kind of shit, if you guys have never done that bullshit, you have to putty it, sand it, paint it, and then you have to do like a water sealing curing layer on top of it. And I'm not shitting you. Hold on. The water curing shit I have, it's like 3 weeks of curing. I'm not even fucking. I have to read it to you. It is, and it's just so it like is, you know, waterproof and meant for a kitchen. Where is it? It says in here. It's so crazy. What in the fuck? Where is it? Yeah. 14 days. 2 weeks. It says it has to cure for 14 days. 14 days. Who the fuck is not using their sink for 14 fucking days? So I have to build a guardrail so no splashback happens while it cures. It's just crazy. It's crazy how like involved just little tiny home improvement stuff is. I enjoy doing it. Like the payoff is great. It looks really fucking nice when it's done, but fuck it. I'm just impatient. Like when I'm done doing the putty, I want to paint. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to go. No, you gotta wait because if you paint it too early, then moisture gets stuck in it, and then you're gonna fuck up your drywall. It's just. I've been having a great time. Isn't Ginger great, dude? Is this Pisces? Of course it is. I'll turn it up a little bit. We love Ginger. Her voice is so fucking beautiful. Hi, Kills. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm sorry if I missed you. I had to go on my tangent about fixing my house. I just had amazing cheers. Hell yes, I'm about to cheers myself. I just packed a beautiful bowl of monkey berries, a very clean bowl of monkey berries. Where are my lighters? Shall we cheers? The joys of being a homeowner, right? Honestly, facts, I'd take it any day over being a renter. I hate, loathe, despise asking permission to fix something. I hate it. It makes me feel like I'm a fucking child. Like, if something's broken and I can fix it, I just want to do it. I fucking hate asking permission. Cheers, everybody. If you got it, coffee cheers, hydrate, all the things. Take your joy.
Did you take your joy today? Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet.
That's a clean hit. Beats being homeless. Anything beats being homeless. But seriously, I'd own over renting any day. Just simply because I can do it. I can fix it. I've been in apartments and renting houses so long. Like, I hate, hey, like, you always feel like when you're calling, like, I always feel like they think I did something, like I broke something. And I'm like, nah, dude, it's just broken. I would love to just fix it, but legally I can't. I fucking hate that. I'd much rather any day fix my own stuff. Like, I like that I can fix my own house because I know how. Like, I don't feel too stupid when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I worked in Lowe's for like 7 years and grew up with a plumber. So I know how to do it. So, like, for instance, like, if something gets stuck in your garbage disposal, all you have to do is take that little wrench and, like, hex wrench the bottom and move the blades around to clean it out. You couldn't even do that. You couldn't hit the restart button on a garbage disposal while you're renting. I grew up, like, fucking dismantling that shit for fun. It just drove me crazy. Sini Mois, how are you, love? Cheers. I officiated a wedding yesterday for my little bro's best buddy. How was it? Was it fun? What was that like doing that? This is a wake and bake for me. Let's start my Friday off at work, right? Fuck yeah. This is I woke up 2 hours ago. It's kind of a wake and bake. I didn't run again because it's fucking wet and gross outside and I didn't want to. I'm brain fried for my dosage calculation exam. That right there is the wall that separates nurses from respiratory therapists is dosage shit. Oh my God, all the mental math. But you think you passed? Fuck yes, congratulations. I bet you did too. It's just, I remember taking those tests and afterwards, like, your brain is so fucked up just from this, like, the sheer stress of, like, the hyper focus of the test. You kind of black out. Like, I remember I would leave a test and I would call my mom and she'd be like, so what was on the test? How do you think you did? And I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know what was on it. Did I do the test? Did I do it? I don't know. Like, it was just fucking gone. I worked out this afternoon and discovered I lost 4 pounds. Fuck yes. Dude, 4 pounds of fat. Do you know how big that is? 4 pounds of fat is huge. That's like a chunk easily like this big off your body. I'm not even kidding you. 4 pounds, because you probably already know this, but for people that don't know, fat is way bigger than muscle. Fat cells are huge. So, like, if say this was 5 pounds of fat, 5 pounds of muscle would be this. So 4 pounds of fat, that's a lot of mass. Like, that's inches taken off your body. That's a lot. You know what I mean? It's hard when you equate that because you could also be building muscle if you're working out. So you're going to gain weight, but not gain, like, inches, which is, I don't weigh myself. I don't even have a scale. I refuse. I get like kind of in the ED territory with that kind of shit. I get too obsessive with numbers. But when I was trying to lose weight, when I got real unhealthy in college and was unhappy with my body, I wouldn't weigh myself. I would only measure. I had a measuring tape. I have one. I still have the same measuring tape. Like like those the type you use for sewing, the measuring tapes used for sewing. They're like material and bendy. And I would measure like my thighs and my arms and stuff and record the inches taken off instead of weighing myself because it was such a fucking mind fuck because I was if you're building muscle and also trying to lose weight, the scale's kind of not going to move and you're going to feel like you're plateauing and you're going to feel really shitty about yourself. It sucks. Oh, Sirska, drink some water. Inches to love, you mean? Comfort eating as a coping mechanism, 100%. I used to do that a lot. I think I've told you about that, Slurm. Like when I got big, when I was in college, I was in a really unhealthy relationship, very, very unhappy in school. Like college is the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I would starve myself all day. Like not starve myself, but I wouldn't eat all day, kind of like I do now, but I would do it on purpose. And then when I got home at night, I would just gorge myself. Like I would eat, 3 people's helpings of a meal, like 5,000 calories of a meal or something, like just insane amounts. I would eat until my stomach felt pain. Like that was when I knew I was done. Like if my stomach felt in pain, like I started dressing so that I could eat to the point where my stomach was so bloated it was obvious, but I would wear like cute little baby doll shirts and stuff so you couldn't see it. It was like I don't know if it was a coping mechanism. I still don't know the psychology behind it, but I had to play a lot of weird mind fuckery tricks on myself to kind of break that weird thing because I wasn't doing it like consciously. I was just starving at the end of the day, obviously. Um it was super fun. I officiated his brother's wedding in Montana. Ooh, fuck yeah. A few back. And the family had a second family a second family for my little bro growing up. Oh. It's fun to do and I was asked by the family if I would be willing to do any more that come up. That's so fun. That means you make it fun. That's awesome. That's a really good sign. Honestly, all the weddings I've ever gone to that I haven't been in, I usually skip the wedding part. Like I just conveniently show up about an hour late so I don't have to sit through that. Because if they're religious or sappy, like I feel like I'm watching my friends fuck on a stage. Like they're up there like, I swear to love you even when you don't put the seat down on the toilet. I fucking love you, babe. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, where's the alcohol? I don't want to watch it. It's weird to me, but to each their own. Like, no judgment. It just makes me very uncomfortable. I don't like to see it. College was the worst. It's the worst. Stormcore, thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone. Hi, Koto. How are you, love? I have a kitchen scale and a weed scale, neither of which will weigh me. Me too. I have a kitchen scale that I use for weed. I'm a secret eater, carbs especially. Yep, I would do that as well. I remember when I was a kid, really young, before I even knew I had any sort of eating disorder, I would like hoard snacks under my bed and I would wake up in the middle of the night and eat handfuls of them and just go back to sleep. Like it was almost like I was asleep eating. Like I would reach under my bed and grab a box of Triscuits and just be like, and pass out back in bed. But I'd have to like hide it because my mom was you guys, I've told you about my mom, the diets and stuff. Like she was so weird about us eating. I sympathize heavily, and I wish you all the luck. And if you ever want to talk about it, been there. The meal's not over when I'm full. The meal is over when I hate myself. Who said that? Because I can't remember. Isn't that a comedian that said that? Fuck it. I used to do that a lot, like regularly. Like if I ate, it was to a bad point basically, and then I wouldn't eat again for the next day. It was crazy. College, worst thing ever. Twitch was the worst thing to happen to me so far. Really? Oh my god. College, like I don't regret my education. I guess I should clarify. College, the education I earned was not the worst thing I ever did. However, before I went to college, I never had an anxiety issue. I'd never had a panic attack. I'd never had an anxiety attack before. I'd never really thought of myself as less of a human yet. And then I went to college with the recipe to succeed, and the recipe was a farce. And I was like, oh, some people just can't do this. But you can be whatever you want to be. You want to be an astronaut? You can do that. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. So I tortured myself for 9 years to get a chemistry degree, which is fucking stupid that I don't use. I'm having a great time. I do one meal a day now, Sally, but I don't feel like I have an eating disorder because I'm not I'm not, like, starving myself. I'm genuinely not hungry during the day, and I don't like eating on stream, and I don't stop myself from snacking if I want to eat. Whereas before, I would chug water if I was hungry during the day, like, I would carry around, like, a giant Nalgene bottle, and if I was hungry between classes, I would just fill it, chug it, until I was so full of water I couldn't think straight. That's an eating disorder, like, that's not okay, that's starving yourself, like, I would do shit like that all day. Now, if I'm fucking hungry, I go fucking mow something down in the kitchen and come back real quick. Like, that's the biggest difference for me. I've never liked eating on stream. I hate eating on stream. That's one good thing about jeans, easier than measuring and super satisfying when you fit. Honestly, Mishy, that's exactly what I go by, is how my clothes fit. Not even shitting you, I don't weigh myself. I don't I don't have any, like, crazy fitness goals or anything, like, no shame on them. I run for mental stability mostly. But seriously, like, I go by how my clothes fit. If my clothes start feeling like I'm too tight in a sausage casing, I know that's a sign, but weighing myself it becomes like a psychological game with the numbers on the scale, not so much with what my body looks like or feels like. It's just like, I gotta beat that number. Like a video game. It becomes weird. I've learned I can't have that. Also, the father of the groom hypothetically ate a couple 100 milligrams gummies before the ceremony. Oh my God, was it amazing? Was it amazing? Dude, I'd totally have a Halloween wedding. That'd be the easiest wedding to dress up for. You scared me for a second? Oh my God, no. Why? No, don't be scared. I'm a little tired, but I'm okay. Me too. I feel that. Finding this community has been such a positive influence to myself. I'm glad. I mean, finding Twitch was a huge positive influence for my life as well. I have to say samesies. I think the worst wedding ceremony I went to is when the priest decided that it was the best time to make a lecture on the nature of the Trinity. Oh my God, Catholic weddings. Catholic weddings, though. No. Never in a million. Not again. Not again. Nah, dude, that's like going through fucking mass. FYI, Mother's Dude all wore flowers made from cut up magic cards. Shut up. And D20 in the center. That is so clever. We made video game references throughout in the vintage NES ice hockey with the grooms before the gig. That's incredible. Did they make those flowers? Were they like handmade? Because that's amazing. That's so clever. That's what getting a career did for me. No. Chucky! What up, motherfucker? How are you? That's not true. You have wonderful chemistry on stream. How dare you? No, what is Played Up? Wait, maybe I have. What is that one? I played like a cute little cooking kitchen game over at Rock Your Socks' house with Scott and Bree and everybody. We went over there a few months ago and we played one, and that sounds from. Is it called Played Up? And it's like a multiplayer where the kitchen, like the pieces of the kitchen move, and like you all have an assignment. Like someone's cooking, someone's cleaning dishes, someone's doing something else. Is it that one? That's a fun game. If you're talking about that one, yes. I've got a game software development degree and work for a bank, so that 4 years was worthwhile. I mean, I have an active medical license and I play video games for a living. So you and I are on the same card, Slurm. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. Happy 420, Lizzie. We did a Wake and Bake Cheers today, and Viada's on the road to a lovely Friday Wake and Bake. So cheers away, love. How are you? I like cooking, but I hate eating. Oh my God, Koto, you want to know what's super weird? I like eating and I enjoy cooking, but I don't want to eat when I cook. Because by the time I'm done cooking it, I'm so fucking tired of the way it smells that I'm not excited and I'm over it. Like, I will cook a meal and straight up make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Broken. Good morning, Will. How are you, love? Chucky, I'm pretty good. I'm tired, but good. I think it's the weather. It got like rainy and gloomy outside, and it makes me feel like. Ugh. How your clothes fit until a size 4 in one company is a size 8 in another. Well, I mean, I'm saying the clothes I already got in my closet. Shopping is a whole other fucking hellscape. I'm even gonna go there. That's a story of my life, Sally. Like, I'm a size 4 in some places, and in some places, I'm a size 10. Does any of that make any fucking sense at all? No. Does it do anything for my self-confidence? Absolutely not! What? It's insane, and it's fucking infuriating. I totally feel that. Like, shopping for clothes, I'm not shitting you. 3 of the things I'm wearing right now I've had since high school because I don't like shopping that much. I hate it. Thankfully, I've never been, like, into fashion, so everything I've always owned has been kind of timeless, for lack of a better word, so I can get away with wearing it for literally eternally. But I despise shopping with a fucking passion of 1,000 suns to the point where this shirt is older than some of your kids, probably. But shopping is that I hate it so much. I've cried in more changing rooms than I've cried anywhere in my life. My dog just farted, and it's so bad. You smell like death. Oh, I'm cheersing away her fart. Cheers. If you got dog farts under you, holy crap. Hate this. Hi, Zoe. Hello, my love. How are you? I was thinking about your poor sore titties the other day. Is there recreational weed where you are? I can't remember. I never know where everyone's recreational. But I was thinking of a suggestion for you for your poor boobs. Handmade the centerpieces all had dice in them that lit up. Our cufflinks were also magic color symbols. I love that so much. That is so fucking cool. I love that. One of my favorite weddings I ever went to, not a lot, but one of my favorite weddings I've ever went to, it was actually a Catholic wedding, but they didn't play it up really Catholic. It was just two friends of mine who happened to be Catholic, and they were huge baseball fans, and so they had baseball cards, like, were incorporated into all the decorations of everything. Baseball cards, and, like, instead of toasting with champagne, because nobody fucking likes champagne, we all toasted with, like, growlers of beer, and the the food was like a buffet table of, like, hamburgers and hot dogs and garlic fries and, like, basically ballpark food, and the wedding was at a tree farm. So the actual wedding took place, like, in this huge, beautiful, like, barn kinda thing, and then it was just acres of trees, and so we all just got fucked up and ran through the acres of trees all night long in, like, ball gowns. It was hilariously fun. It was so, like, not uptight, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like, people were timing drink times or whatever. Hi, Najiel, how are you, love? Good morning. You know what I mean? When some weddings are like, "Okay, this is the drink hour, and you gotta be here at this," like, when they're ordering the guests around, it feels weird. Like, I'm not part of that. You do? Okay, so Zoe, I don't have it. Oh, I do. Oh my god, it's there. Hold on. I thought it was in my bedroom, but I was thinking about you last night because my boobs also hurt right now. Oh, you probably won't be able to find this exact brand name because as far as I understand, as far as I know, weed is state specific. Like, all the THC products, they can't go across state lines because it's not federally legal. Senior Moose could probably elaborate on that more than I can. However, I have been able to find some THC lotions. This one's called the brand is Escape, excuse me, Escape Artists Relief Cream. And really, I don't think the brand matters. If you're getting it at a dispensary, it's gonna be high quality stuff. But this one is a lot of THC. I'm trying to find where the milligrams are. And I use it for cramps and my boobs, and it helps. Because what's happening, your tits hurt because the mammary glands are swelling because of hormones and all that shit. And so it's stretching the tissue around your tit, and that's what's hurting. That's what's causing the pain. And CBD THC cream helps relieve that, what's the word? The swelling, the inflammation, so it's not necessarily attacking like, numbing your nerves or anything like that. It's taking the swelling down so that your boobs can do their thing without pain. You know what I mean? Also, this is one thing I thought about. Almost every single person I know has stretch marks on their boobs because of this. So lotioning your titties up as regularly as possible is gonna give you the best case scenario. You know what I mean? Like, fucking lotion them tits. But this stuff, I think it's like 500 milligrams of THC. It doesn't have the sticker on it anymore, sadly. But it's like, you can get insanely high THC lotions these days. And I'm pretty sure this one's like 500 milligrams. And this one smells like, it's like balsam fir or something, like fir trees. Because I don't want to smell like an old lady. I hate when they smell like lavender or rose or something like that. But it's a really, really nice scent. It's really mellow. And it might help, but also prevent stretch marks. Because no one wants that. We want you to have perfect tits. I got very excited by same-day delivery of a new clothes air dryer the other day, and I bought the more expensive one so it'll last longer. Ooh, that's what age is. You're old now. Hard look while I get ready for work. Will bop in for cheers. Yes, I'm cheersing you right now till you're getting ready. Good luck. Don't forget to wash your hands. That's a beautiful weed, Slow Cod. That's a beautiful weed. You can share that any day. That's perfect. Balm thine titties. Seriously, the reason you get stretch marks is your skin rips. That's what stretch marks are. Is if your body grows too fast, your skin tears. So, like, I have stretch marks on my hips, and a couple on my stomach and a couple on my back because I grew tall so fast, my skin couldn't keep up, and so it tore. So when your boobs are growing, they usually grow pretty fucking fast because hormones are magic. It can tear the skin and you could get stretch marks around your titties. So lotioning on top of maybe relieving some of the pain could help if you're able to pick up one of these. Again, this one's just called Escape Artist Relief Cream, but there's many different brands. And as long as you're getting it at like a recreationally legal or medical dispensary, you're good. And the reason I say that is because in America, CBD, not THC, but CBD is not regulated. And so unless you're buying it at a dispensary, you really don't know what you're getting. And the reason I say that is because a dispensary, if they try to sell you something that's not exactly what it actually says on the label, they can get shut down in a millisecond. The state wants to shut them down. They're just waiting for dispensaries to fuck up like that. So a dispensary will not offer a product unless it is highly guaranteed that that's basically what you're getting. Does that make sense? They have more risk rolling on them and it has THC in it, so obviously it's got to come from a dispensary. But you know what I mean? Evolution gave her worse pains for a titty bitch. I know, it's so stupid. Oh my God, Sarah, I'm so sorry. On Friday, I realized that the pair of Converse I was wearing are older than the high school kids I was working with. Shut up. Did you tell them? Sarah, my mom got me this in high school, which was arguably a while ago. 16 years ago. My shirt can drive. I hate this. Cheers. Gross. Great shirt, though. It rubbest thine lotion on the titties. Zoe, for real, I hope that helps. Sore boobs are the worst. They're just annoying. It's horrifying. That's why we're all superheroes. It's facts. It's facts. What's the good side of being a woman? A lot of it sounds horrifying. We look beautiful naked. That's about, like, sometimes when I just get really sad, I get naked and stand in a mirror and remind myself that I look good naked. That's it. Not that the male form isn't absolutely stunning, but Botticelli wasn't painting a whole bunch of naked mans with angel wings. You know what I'm saying? Boobs. That's honestly, I'm not even trying to be that's not even a joke. I've thought about it a lot. Like, what is the pro to this? Because, like, 1 week out of the month, I feel like normal and I'm not thinking, like, am I pregnant or just a cunt? And the other 3 weeks, it's like sore tits, migraines, period, gushing, like, whatever, you know? It's just like a fucking mess. But, yeah, it's like boobs, though. Chi-Town! Have a beautiful day and thank you. Don't forget to wash your hands. Don't let the man get you down. Thank you, love. I'm trying to catch up on chat. Sorry, I missed a couple. The reason I have stretch marks is because I sit on my ass on my computer eating Big Mac cake. Wait, what's a Big Mac cake? Wait, what? I got fat kid stretch marks. Is that a thing? Hi, Nico. How are you, love? My shoulders must have grew fast. Did you get stretch marks on your shoulders? Absolutely. Mine are my hips. Because my hip, like, I just went ba-boom, ba-boom. I'm surprised my legs don't have stretch marks. Like, I don't know why, but there are no stretch marks on my legs. There should be, by all means. None, though. I saw this really interesting TikTok the other day about evolution, female versus male. I'm not a biological essentialist by any means, but what is a biological essentialist? Can you teach me like I'm 5, Lizzie? And it was a super interesting perspective on how humans are so vastly different from all other animals in terms of our male-female dynamics. I can share it if people are interested. It reminded me because, like, why do gorgeous girlies got to be evolutionarily burdened? We're very weird. I mean, I just thought about recently, Lizzie, we're the only mammal to have titties all the time. Every other animal develops titties to feed babies, and then once the babies aren't nursing, the titties go away. But we hit puberty and we get fat sacks forever. Like, there's a lot of things about human, like, we are strange. And it makes you wonder, like, what kind of selective breeding we did on accident that made us so weird. I was actually listening to a really interesting historical podcast this morning on the, what's it called? The fuck, I just blanked on it. You know, like the Edwardian, is it the Edwardian girl or whatever? That when the hourglass first came into fashion was literally because of some dude's drawings. Like, he was an artist who just drew things, and he had an ideal imagination of a white woman with like a waspy waist, and he got paid to make some ads, and then suddenly women tried to make their body look like the ads. It was crazy. What is that? I can't remember the term, though. It was pretty wild, though, just thinking about how I mean, it's just weird. I don't know. Weird how it happens. No, because I felt like a lame ass millennial. Millennials are the shit. Are you kidding me? What's wrong with millennials? Seriously. No one can. I've never heard a legit thing like millennials suck, except I've still never had avocado toast. But I own a house. I own a car. I paid off my loans. I went to college. Like, I'm participating in society. I got vaccinated. I pay my taxes. I don't know what about me as a millennial what am I doing to harm society? Like, you too. I'm pretty sure you and I are in the same situation. Like, I don't get it. What are we doing wrong? I can't wear clothes I got in high school. I'm big. I'm too big now. That was the one pro to growing 6 foot when I was like 8. I have stretch marks on my belly, boobs, on the inside of my thighs. Ooh, I think I might have a couple on the inside of my thighs from stretch growing, just from, I think because I was saying I didn't have any on my legs. I might have some on my thighs, but I think they are so old, like they're like silvery and you can't see them anymore. Hey, stretch marks due to womb fruits, worthy scars, in my opinion. The chosen one had to come about some way, Sarah. You know this. I've been wanting to get a new pair of high top Chucks. You should check Amazon. Every time I want to get some shoes, because I still wear like DC skater shoes because they're still the most comfortable shoes ever. Sue me. You can get them so much cheaper on Amazon sometimes because they're coming like from a third party warehouse or something. They're still name brand shoes, but I've seen Chucks on there for like $20. Whereas if you go to the Chucks website, they're trying to sell Chucks for like $80. I don't understand how or why. Like, I don't know how Chucks suddenly became expensive because I'm pretty sure they're exactly the same, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, thank you for the biddies, Chi-Town. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat. I'm just terrible today. They carved the dudes out of stone and painted the tits. Oh my god, I wish. There's a reason why all the classical artists painted and sculpted men with little dicks. I've read about that. I went Slow Cloud. I might have told you guys this before, but when I went to Greece years ago, I went to the Isle of Delos, which is where some of the oldest still existing ruins on planet Earth are today, and it was really fucking cool. But it was one of these islands where they had a ton of statues that were dedicated to deities of love and sex and stuff like that. And when I can't remember if it was the Romans that came through or people who were Christian-esque and had prudish tendencies came through and thought all the dicks were very grotesque. So they literally went through and knocked all the dicks off and replaced them with little plaster grape leaves. But all the dicks were just like cast into the dirt. Like, they weren't like burned or anything. So if you go to the Isle of Delos off of Mykonos in Greece, Mykonos is another island. Delos is like a little day trip ferry you take. There's nowhere to stay there. It's very small. There is a museum of cock. You can go and look at all of the dicks they've found over the years that were knocked off of the numerous beautiful statues at the Pantheon and otherwise. It's pretty fucking wild. But I learned that one of the reasons anyways that they've found is, you're absolutely correct, but it was more so that they thought big dicks were ugly. The human form was beautiful. They weren't against the human form at all. It was that big penises were very grotesque and nasty. Same with big boobs, which is why you see very small breasted, like rounded bellied Botticelli like type Greek goddess looking women, not like hourglass figures or anything like that, because that was seen as sickly. Chi-Town gifted a sub to Slow Cloud. Thank you so much for gifting a sub in the channel, you silly fuck. I appreciate you. Thank you. You have them on your sides? I wonder if I do. There's some places on my body, like, have you ever thought about the fact that, can you tell me what your back looks like? If you don't have a tattoo. If you have a tattoo on your back, that's cheating. I don't know what my back looks like, and that's very strange. And I've seen it a couple times in my life, but it's just not in my general view, you know what I mean? Fat kid stretch marks are absolutely a thing. I had them at 13, and I'm a dude. Just overate a lot as a coping mechanism for undiagnosed, untreated emotional shit. 100% understand that. I mean, I did that in college too. I think I'd already just grown so tall. I had a lot of room to store the fat. A lot. The teenage years are the worst ever. I don't even remember it. It was like my brain was on fire. Imagine having seasonal titties. I can't even. I mean, we kind of do, but it's like 1 week out of the month, they're a cup size bigger than they should be. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys have heard me be like, wow, fertile titties. It's usually the week I have my period. My boobs are huge. None of my bras fit, and I'm just like overflowing just for a week, and then it all goes away. It's fun. And then your body holds water. So then really your entire body swells and nothing fits. Thank you for the hype train. It's crazy. This is a fun life we lead. I'm trying to catch up on chat. I'm so sorry. I keep going on tangents. Uh, it's gender critical for intellectuals, basically. Same bigotry, different name. Gender critical. What is that? I feel very stupid. What is gender critical? Boobs, I mean, I'm into them. I'm not complaining about the boobs. I mean, I don't like them when I want to golf. They do kind of fuck up my golf game, but it's just weird, you know what I mean? It's weird. The Victorian era was all kinds of fucked up. Dude, that's saying the least of it, man. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on it, and the wallpaper alone was like murdering babies. Candied Nightmare, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving inane swings for almost an entire fucking year. That's a really long time, and I very much appreciate your support and everything. Almost 1 year. Thank you for being amazing. Sending all the love, sending love back, and thank you for being amazing. I would be nothing without y'all. Holy shit, Vile, how are you? Oh my god, thank you for reminding me. Vile said, Ian really fucked up the coast of Florida. Glut sent me some pictures of his town, not his house or any personal information, but he sent me some pictures of his town and what the hurricane did, and he gave me permission to show you guys if you want to see them. It is fucked up. That hurricane wreaked some havoc. Bitter boomers and Gen X can't deal with their own neuroses because they're all adult children. I feel like they just need something to hate for some reason, but why is it got to be like they're going to go after Gen Z? I saw an article the other day saying like Gen Z is tentative about attending college post COVID and they're being attacked for it. Like they're going to destroy our economy because they won't go to college. And I'm like, good for you. You won't end up in eternal debt. Nothing's bad about millennials. We're the generation to break generational trauma, and I'll never apologize for that. I think they fucking hate that. I think our generation is one of the first to be like, the generation right before millennials, what is that, Gen X? I think they're one of the first that started kind of becoming very openly self-aware to just build on that, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just being privately self-aware and going to therapy. It was being openly very self-aware. Like, we're fucked up, you're fucked up, everything's fucked up. And then I think we took it the step further of doing more with what we were given from the previous generation and so on and so forth. And I think Gen Z is really going to take it another step. I'm very excited to see what Gen Z does when they have money and power. You are not buying enough diamonds and De Beers aren't happy about it. Oh my God, please shoot me if I ever walk into a place like that, Zakarian. I give you permission to bathe in the bloodbath. I don't want that life. You're doing nothing wrong, Katie. It's a them issue and not a you issue. You gotta wonder. I mean, I agree with you, but in my quiet times, I sometimes wonder, like, you hate my generation, but you made me. My parents are the boomers that complain about millennials. Like, they say it all the time, and they made me. No one else did. They did it. So, like, hate your own creation, I guess, but I feel okay. Like, I feel like I'm doing all right. I like being the cool teacher still. You'll always be the cool teacher. It's because you're short and you look young. It'll be forever. I still remember all my cool teachers, and they could have been, like, in their 50s, but they were, like, short on my level, and they were, like, they had a youthful, like, they didn't come off as, like, a meanie. Some teachers were just fucking dicks. I don't know why. I don't mean you, Katie. I mean the people that participate. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm just trying to catch up, and I try to catch up on the wrong conversations. I learned that my current body type is supposed desirable for many women, but I'm trying to convince my dysphoric ass to let what's left of my belly show. Man, you know what? Like, what was weird for me when I first, like, lost a lot of weight was in my mind, not like consciously, but somewhere subconsciously in the back of my head, I had convinced myself that once I lose all this extra weight that's really driving me crazy, everything will be easy and that all my problems will be solved and that life is just better for skinny people. And then I got skinny and life wasn't better and all your problems are still there and everything still sucks and you're just fucking hungry. That is the worst. The worst fucking like slap in the face is like it's just like being comfortable in your skin is just another piece of shit thing you got to deal with. It's not like a solution to anything, but when you are that internally uncomfortable with your body, it's easy to fantasize about that, to like look at skinny people and how happy and pretty they are and assume it's because of that. But everybody has problems and no one shows the shit on social media, you know what I mean? Gender critical turfs. Ah, thank you. Okay. I was very curious. I'm sorry. I'm learning new things all the time. Cocky, thank you for the biddies. You silly fuck. I appreciate you. I love you back. Thank you. Biological essentialism is, yeah, basically that male and female are strict binaries with strict genital assignments. Oh, so it's like anti-trans people, basically, that are trying to use science for it or whatever. Is it kind of like what Chappelle tried to pull in his show? Women equals must have an organically grown pussy. Fuck off. I love that. Which is not how science even works anyways because sex is not binary. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous girlies were born without pussies are still evolutionarily burdened in this conversation. Thank you for clarifying. Seriously. I love learning. I never want to like glaze past a term like that because you never know. Why are Christians such prudes? Who hurt them? Jesus. Jesus. Putting up a museum of cock, I mean, it's glorious. And it's actually a really cool museum. I mean, it's just cases and cases of cock. They're everywhere. It's amazing. I have 0 tattoos. I'm scared of them for some reason. Are you scared of other people's tattoos or like getting one in general? I remember when my skinny friend asked me what my stretch marks were when I was like 14 and I said they were cat scratches. I don't remember even noticing mine. I don't remember. I got them so young. I grew so young. It's been way too long now. Some of these new Twitch features are dumb. You mean all? There's several channels I can't watch. I can't use bits in anymore. Wait. You can't do bits? The fuck? Why? What happened? My bits button's there. When I type something interesting and someone reads it, frequently they don't finish what I type past the interesting part. It used to irritate me, and now I've realized someone is interested in the thing I said, and I'm here for that. I totally get that. I totally get that. At least they listened half. Some people don't even listen to the whole, like, any of it. Oh, those turds. It's angry white men who need to control all bodies and try to hide their hate for trans in science. I can't with that. You can't do that. No educated scientific person who has an inkling of intelligence would agree with any of that. I'm in Florida too. Luckily, I'm in Central, and I literally feel like I have survivor's guilt from how little we were affected. I mean, don't. You're lucky. You should just feel very grateful. Our power went out for less than a minute one time during the storm, and that was it. A couple of vinyl fence planks fell over. I mean, I lived in Maryland for years. I lived in Baltimore. We used to get the leftovers of your guys' storms, and that's how it was for us. And we would, I mean, bitch about that, but then see, like, I'm trying to pull up, uh, hold on. Lizzie gave us a TikTok, but I was trying to pull up those pictures Glut gave me because he gave me permission to show them to you guys. They don't show any personal stuff, but it's his town and what it fucking did. It's crazy. So this is one of them. So this is a before and this is after the hurricane hit. Just look at I mean, it doesn't even look like a road anymore. It's crazy. I did not think that was the same thing when I saw it, the pictures of it. That's fucking wild. And then that is that's a street leading to Main Street. It's now a fucking river up to like almost the awnings. I don't even know. How high do you think that is? Like 4 feet, 3 feet up? Yeah, it's wild. These are pictures he took. Yeah. And then, oh shit. Did I just scroll it? Did I just scroll way the fuck up there? Catherine. Everything's broken. And then this one. This is the one that blew me away. I don't know why it didn't even occur to me to think about marinas. Think about all the fucking marinas all over the Florida coast. All these, like, just casual people who have little speedboats and stuff. What do you do now? Like, what the fuck do you do? That is insane. Gender critical kind of make it sound like there's such a thing as gender explosion. Oh my god, I explode sometimes in my genders. I'm on the cusp of Gen X and millennials. We're definitely all fucked up, right? We are, but we're doing something about it. I think at least being verbal about it in any way we can, which I think is a step. Would it be wrong to say that every generation hates the next generation? I think previously, yes, but I think like Sarah said, I think we are breaking that because like I don't hate Gen what is it? Whatever's after me, X or Z. I can never fucking remember. What are we? Millennials, Gen X, Gen Z. It's Gen Z. My best friend in the world, Eliza, is Gen Z. Like I feel nothing bitter towards anything, any generation below me. However, the generations above me seem to be trying to fuck my life over before they die for some reason. Christianity emerged under persecution from the Roman Empire. It never grew out of it, so they act out. Ugh. Ugh. Hi, Darth Vader. How are you, love? Sorry, we were showing off. This is Glut's poor hometown that was fucking demolished. I saw the damage to Sanibel Island. So many buildings just wiped off the map, but the things from the 1880s still stand. Isn't that wild? I've actually been told that they make things on purpose like that now. I was told that when I was down in Clearwater, that a lot of the bars on the beach and stuff, they are designed to fall apart easily, just so it's easier to build back up or something. I don't fucking know. It's weird. Yet the real estate speculators are happy as fuck to be able to build more expensive homes without applying for demo permits. Sick but true. One man's tragedy is another's opportunity. It's exactly what was happening like in the early 2000s when all these developers were buying up like hundreds of acres of land, just plowing it out and putting up developments overnight. That's happening again. And I know people are probably going to start getting approved for $1 million loans they can't fucking afford again. It's like a cycle of just like keeping the shit. Loco showed the difference in the money to time a super chat is shown between Twitch and YouTube. I've never been on a live YouTube stream in my life. I have no idea what they do. Oh, the super chat thing is ripped from YouTube. Oh yeah. I thought it would be either that or it reminds me of like leaderboards. Like they've just monetized leaderboards, I guess. In Elspeth's channels, there's a weird circle button that has a different type of bit feature, but won't let you use bits you do here? What the fuck? Jake, what happened? Were you smacked? What happened? Oh, I got you, boo. I'll give you a permit. We have like link protection because if someone posts porn in my channel, technically I'm responsible for it. I got you, boo. 1 sec. Boo, you got like 69 seconds. But I can permit you again. Excuse me. I saw some pictures where boats were on top of small buildings. What do they do now? Like, I honestly don't know what you do. You gotta get like cranes or something? Some of those ad links hurt too. Got it with 5 in one stream. Got hit like 20 minutes later with another 7 ads. In a row? Because honestly, like, in terms of what I'm allowed to see, I mean, maybe everyone's offered different information on ads and stuff, but as far as I can see, the most often we can run ads is once an hour for 3 minutes. That's it. Like, that's the most often I can run an ad. And I usually try to run one once an hour just so we don't get any fucking pre-rolls, because I don't think entertainment you should have to pay for. Like, you should be able to chill for free. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, thank you, Jake. I'm sorry you got banged by my stupid bot. Hurricane Ian devastates Southwest Florida. Sanibel Causeway will need to be rebuilt. Holy shit. Is that a video? In what way are females dominant biologically? And he ends it with, should women run the world? Like, wow, we went deep into that one. But I like some of the ideas he had. But the egg and the sperm talk was a little off base. I don't know where he was going with, like, eggs have more or whatever. What did he say? That was a weird one. But I like a nut like this. Like, I would love to talk to this person. You know, just sit in a cafe and have a fucking good combo. It would be fun, I feel like, with this individual. It was interesting because that is what we see in the rest of the animal kingdom, but it's entirely different in humans. I don't know enough about the animal kingdom, but probably. Fun fact, saying something is old as fuck means it is roughly 1.2 trillion years old, and that's about when sex was developed to create offspring. Shut up, seriously? Something's old as fuck is 1.2 trillion years old. I love that. I am old as fuck. The egg's bigger. That's a very general statement. I don't know what he means by that. Does he mean, like, bigger in terms of the information it holds inside? Is he talking about the physical size of an egg and a sperm? I don't know. I feel like I just need more context. I would ask a lot of questions, but I'm into it. I love having a weird conversation with a nut. In animals, generally the one who has the biggest role in young rearing and production is the selective partner. The one who, like, chooses their mate, you mean? Is that what you mean by selective? When I think of that, I think of, like, penguins or, like, birds. I think of birds a lot when I think of, like, selectiveness because I know there's a lot of species of birds who, like, the male builds, like, an intensely weird nest to attract a female or, collects pebbles or what's another one? Does a dance, like the birds of paradise and stuff like that. The males do, like, shit like that, but the female doesn't stick around unless it's a penguin. Penguins, they do sometimes. But, like, most birds, they come and they fuck for a millisecond, they fly off. I can't what other animals would do that? I don't know. Beavers build a dam, but I don't think they do it to attract a mate. In general, in animals, generally the one who has the biggest role, yeah, is the selective, meaning the one who chooses, yeah. So the one who's like when the male gets to build this pretty nest that she doesn't live in, which is super weird, is more colorful, almost always us. We do that. I mean, yeah, kind of, to a grander extent, yeah. Women try to keep more of their genes because men genes make you wanna go out and kill shit, is what I thought he said. But I mean, I guess where I'm lost is he's attributing, like, I guess, personality and what's a word for it? Not personality, but, like, physical activities to your genetics, you know? Where I don't know where that I don't know if, like I can't think of the word for it. If, like, I'm a very aggressive person with lots of anger, but am genetically assigned female at birth. You know what I mean? That's where I'm confused on it. Like, is he insinuating that genes have something to do with our innate behavior? Like, is it a nature versus nurture thing? Is he gonna get turfy on me? Lions, wolves. I thought you were gonna do the lions and what is it? Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Lions, wolves, hyenas, chimpanzees, gorillas. All of them have control of sex's behavior and aggression to the opposite sex. I mean, I don't know where the conversation's going. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if behavior is built into genetics necessarily. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I'm not good with I'm not a taxon I don't know genes. I'm not a geneticist or anything. I was very bad at genetics in school. It's very math intensive and I hate that shit. So I'm not I'm just trying to think of it in the layman's terms, my simple brain. That guy covered a lot. "Hey, Leap, meet my friend Bound." Seriously. And then at the end, he's like, "Should women rule the world?" And I'm like, "Where I don't wanna do that, though. I don't want responsibility over all these fucking man babies. Hell no." We all know that because you shout at me instead of sending me one of your tarantulas. I mean, I've got a lot of dead tarantula skins. Are there transgendered other animals? How can we tell? Yes. They have actually studied I can't remember there's many species where there's been not I mean, I don't know how they word it because obviously an animal can't communicate. It would like to be a different gender. But I know that we've definitely witnessed uh, homosexuality, asexuality, and other behaviors in animals that leads us to believe that there actually absolutely can be forms of like uncomfortable in one's skin, for lack of a better matter. It's just the communication, like how would you know? Exactly. I don't know. I have no idea. Yep, all the big apes have transgender individuals. There you go. Do you have anything to read on that, Mickey? Because I'd love to read about that too. I know I've heard it. I mean, I've listened to lots of podcasters talk about it in general and cite resources and stuff like that when people are like, humans are the only creatures that are allowing our kids to like grow boobs when they're not or whatever their stupid fucking ignorant argument is. I can't even misquote it because I don't know what it is. It sounds so stupid. Yeah, I think I remember it from university too. I think we went around the same time. I think I remember it from college. I learned about it in one of my bio classes. It's just been way too fucking long. We need to take a break. My dogs are getting needy. It's been the hour. Shall we run an ad and go pee, everybody? Get some coffee? Oh, you just butted Bud out. Come here, Trick. Come here. Come here. There's my boy. No, don't be a dick. You're such a dick. Here's my baby. Hi, guys. He's a good baby. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Go outside. Go outside. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's take a break. Stand up. Pee your pants. Stretch your dicks. I'll be back in a few, as usual. I'll be back in a few. We'll continue this conversation. I love talking about this stuff. I love shutting down people that want to scientifically hate on my LGBTQ plus trans or otherwise friends. I love to shut them down with science because they like to hide behind science and it's disgusting. Gross. Transgender women are women, transgender men are men. No one owes us anything in terms of how they outwardly appear. Period. End of story. I love you. I'll be right back. How are you, love? Welcome, Sales. Good morning. How are you? This is such a good song. Dancing shit for free. I need to plug that in. Ignore you. Cheers, coffee. Hi, Anza. How are you, love? This is America. Where is my bowl? This is America. Oh my God, there it is. Jesus Christ. I gotta snap. I gotta carry him. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you don't have to ever. Thank you for the biddies. Oh, Chi-Town. Thank you for the biddies, you silly fuck. Appreciate you. I do. Oh my God, Chucky, you didn't hear me this morning. Guess what I did after stream yesterday all night? Repainted all the cabinets in my kitchen for funsies. Because I'm sick. But they look so fucking good. They look so good. I know, right? Oh my God, it's happened to me before, Mandracan. My boy Link got a blunt one time and went to sleep for 2 days. I'm nervous. I'm repacking, but yeah, not again. Thankfully, my dogs have never acted like they're interested in pot ever. Theory confirmed. I mean, it's possible. It's I don't know, man. I put on music and I just sit down and I hyper focus on it. Maybe I'm a psycho. But honestly, you know what it is, Chucky? So this is the thing. I think I've told you about this house. It's an older house and it burnt down like 20 or something years ago and got partially rebuilt. And because it's just where we live. The dirt here is like silty mud. It just runs. If it rains, it just runs because it's like desert kind of, dirt. And so our house has like settled just a little bit wrong. So all the window frames, all the door frames, everything is just like you can see where it's like pulled away from the wall, and it's cracked. There's like the little crack there. So for the past like 3 months, I've been going through my house and puttying and sealing everything, and then curing it and sealing it and curing it and priming it. And so I'm finally at the point where I can paint. So it's just feels so good. It feels so good to be able to finally just paint it because all that other shit sucks. This is the new bits. This is what it looks like. What the fuck is that? Support Elspeth and unlock a sub emote for non-subscribers. The more you cheer with, the more viewers will get to cheer with you. What's happening? What is happening? What is happening? What is that? I don't even, what does that even mean? Music is a good platform. We definitely need, I agree so hard. I like rap too. I don't like mumble rap. I have yet to find any mumble rap in the world that is good. To me, that's no hate. Music is there to be enjoyed. I don't believe in shaming other people for what they're into. Not my jam. But I do love rap. I was kind of raised on it a little bit. That and country music. That's understandable. I'm on a timetable crunch and I just despise painting. I totally get that. If I was on a time crunch, I would probably hate it too. Like, I take my time, I let it dry between layers, I go do something else. Like, I'm not like time crunched on it. That's probably a huge difference too. It's at my discretion, you know what I mean? Your chat reset? Oh, good. Good. I don't have that on mine yet. I still have a normal bits button, I think. But I mean, that like chat highlight thing just showed up on my stream without me clicking do it. So anything at this point, I just don't know. Anything could pop up randomly. Like new feature, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in right, Mandercan. Cheers to that. Mandercan said I'm not stoned enough to make sense of Twitch right now. They have been fucking silent since the 70-30 announcement cut. I'm just curious what the fuck is going on. Can I follow a lengthy thought? I can try. Usually, yeah, I can try. What is it? What's the thought? Do you love mumble rap? See, and I would never like enjoy music. I think music is there to be enjoyed. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's bad music. I hate when people do that. What is that called? When people like, oh my god, I can't believe you listen to blah blah blah. Ugh. What the fuck? I'm just glad you found some music you like. Shut up. Hold on, we have I haven't shown any. We haven't looked at the dog the brain bleach yet. We watched the strange muttering crazy man, but oh my god, those stop it. Look at those dogs. Shut up. Their noses are hearts. Fuck. Yeah, it's being a dick. Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like it's not stonewalling. There's a word for it, like when you act like you're oh god, I can't remember it. There's a word for it. There's like a term. Gatekeeping, that's the one. Thank you. Not stonewalling. What the fuck? Gatekeeping. Yeah. That's what it feels like. I remember being a young female and being like, "Yeah, I like metal." "Oh, really? What's your favorite Halo?" If I said I like Nine Inch Nails, obviously that's like not metal, but whatever. It would just be like, "Oh yeah, what about blah 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 blah?" Or if I wore a metal shirt, "Oh yeah, do you remember obscure?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Is this how you make friends? Is this is not how it happens. Someone needs to help you." Cheers. Exactly. Like I'd be like, "Oh, I really like insert Swedish metal band here." "Oh, well, have you ever heard of Schmaga Sporga Death Garden before?" "No." "Oh, well, you don't like metal then." Or you could share the music with me and we could enjoy it together, you fucking uptight prick. Well brought up. Too bad you weren't. It's just weird. I don't understand. Cheers to not that. I like mumble rap if they're vibing because poetry is more sound centric. 100% get that. Yeah, I'm sure. I think honestly it's just because I can't hear it because I'm kind of hard of hearing. It seems like you would look nice in, and I'd like to see you in a rugby shirt. Oh my god, what is a rugby shirt? Like the stripy shirts? Did I not keep up? God damn it. Okay, here's the lengthy thought. Okay, how your hood lays on your shoulders, it looks like a big white collar. Oh, the stripy rugby shirts with the collars? Wonder if I can make it look like a collar. Almost. That's pretty good. I've always wanted to play rugby. I always like the idea of just getting to pummel into other human beings at full speed sounded like joyous to me. Oh, some are not stripy. I think that's the one that comes to mind is the dumb American. But I'd be into it. I know I have a poisonous mind. Parrot metal, what the fuck is I don't want to know. Is it parrots? Is it parrots? Meddling together? This watching it. That is fucking wild. Who is making the noise? Is it the dude that looks like Mr. Bean? It looks like he has a car above his head, so I thought maybe it was like a car trying to turn over. Like, is it him? His mouth barely opens and he literally sounds like a car turning over. That's I can't even do it. That's incredible. I love fun laughs. Thank you for sharing that. That's fucking beautiful. That makes me feel so good about my own fucking backwards laugh. I'll do another emote you might like. It's going to be a combo of yours and someone else's. Do it. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, Cthulhu's wings. Those are beautiful. I love a good set of wings. A good set of wings are almost needed in an emote set. Like, how do you live without them? I love animals, Vile. Oh god. Fucking chat. They must be like adding this shit as we're live right now, because my chat's done a couple weird things today too. Just like restarting. Oh my god. Oh my god, are they babies? Oh my god, they're so tiny. Oh my what? You are their mother. You never get to leave, sir. I hope you realize that. You better get ready to fucking grow nipples. Oh my god, they are so cute. Holy shit. Oh my god. Are these the moms? They look like they got nip nops and these are the babies. I think these are the moms, like, using him as a fucking hill. That's amazing. Right? He does look like Mr. Bean. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw it. Like, young Mr. Bean, obviously, like, many years ago, but did look like Mr. Bean. Oh, Chi-Town, thank you for the biddies. What the fuck? Thank you. Thank you. I mean, what else is a community for but having cool conversations without people being mean to each other? As long as people aren't assholes, I'm all about having a conversation. They are so cute. I can't stop watching. Look at the little ones. That is dude, they just like own him now. Yeah, he lives there forever. Like if he gets up and leaves, he's officially the meanest person ever. Look at those babies. Oh, you're so cute, Needle. Oh my god, they're so cute. Oh. Dude, they must be really young. They seem still like wobbly. Cute. Those are precious. I could watch that all day. I love the nature channel shit. Like that is fucking cute. He's now part of the clan, a lesser member, but still a member. Exactly. He is the member that is the hill. Is the hill a member? The hill seems like an important member of the tribe. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I have you on the big screen and chat doesn't seem to want to update. Nope, chat has refreshed for me and other people a couple of random times. Or it just won't load and then it loads all at once. I don't know if it's like freezing or what, but that's why I keep like saying I gotta catch up on chat. I'm so sorry that's happening, but it looks like it's happening to other people. I think it's because they've been implementing a couple new features and they're probably doing it live right now while we're online, I guess. Because like Elspeth has some weird bit thing now. Instead of the normal bit button, I was subject to the highlight your message, which doesn't work if you're on dashboard or on mod view. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's happening. All we want is better visibility in the categories. That's it. I don't know. People have to bring that guy food and water and sponge him off from a distance. Shut up. Can you imagine like a vaulting pole with a sponge tied to the end of it? And they're just like, can you lift your arm, Jim? All right, we got this. Fuck off. Don't touch the meerkats. I'd watch that show. I'd watch that. I would be a tower of meerkats. I'd happily die there. They're so cute. Until one pissed on me and then I'd be like, I don't know about that. I imagine it's like cat pee and it's just fucking rank. I did a bunch of research. The guy in the video is a PhD child neuropsychologist and doesn't chat turf. Thank fuck. Good. I was being very facetious when I said, is he going to go turfy? But you never know, and I'm glad. Thank you for looking that up, by the way, Lizzie. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate you. When me and my housemate, who's trans, first saw it, we just saw it as an interesting observation about about how in many species there are observable comparisons between aggression. My chat did the weird double, so I'm just trying to follow it. Comparisons between aggression and dominance in male-female dynamics, but doesn't negate sex or gender complexity and individuality. I love that too. I love I love that everybody got a different interpretation out of it, honestly. He didn't come off as like a nefarious person. He came off as someone who likes to talk philosophical, which I am I love to have a devil's advocate conversation, unless it has to do with like, hiding behind science to make out trans people or otherwise to be like evil or something wrong or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean. The turfy shit. As long as we don't go into turfy stuff, I love to have a devil's advocate conversation, but I'm not here to talk hate about my friends. They'll assault other packs, so they go out in groups to make sure nothing bad happens. Oh my god, they go out in groups. What do they go out to like hunt bugs and stuff? Because I think they take out scorpions. I think I've seen videos of meerkats like take out scorpions. Shit, I mean, when's the last good feature we had was like gifted subs. I don't know. This hype train looked different. Yesterday my highlighted messages look different. Like just normal highlighted. If you like use points to highlight a message, they look different yesterday. But I use the dashboard view all the time, just because I can see how long I have until I have to run an ad, so on and so forth. So it's just more useful. And I know there's a couple of those new features that straight up don't work on mod view or on that, which is unfortunately strange. A new study finds meerkats are the most murderous mammals. Oh my god, what? The most murderous? I thought they ate bugs. People, we want less intrusive ads. Twitch, how about these new features no one likes instead? Where do they get their ideas? Like, who's doing it? Does Compare the Market, the meerkat, exist in America? Oh my god, isn't that an insurance firm? I don't know, but I think I've heard of it before or seen it somewhere. As an example, we were discussing recently about dog gender, about how when boy dogs get the snip, just by anecdote, they tend to be more shy, like they've lost their confidence. Does it affect their gender presentation, their gender performance? Do boy dogs have gender that changes, but girl dogs have a different perception of gender? That is a really interesting question. I mean, physiologically speaking, I know that if you neuter your dog before they are done growing all the way, then what happens is, because a lot of your testosterone comes from your gonads, a lot of your sex hormones come from your gonads. If you sever the tie between the gonads or you remove the gonads fully before the animal is fully mature, then they needed more testosterone to actually grow all the way, and they get different cancers and stuff like that. But I don't. That's a really interesting conversation. I don't know. I've never thought of that before, but it is interesting. I know that for female dogs, they usually say you should spay them, obviously because we don't want to be backyard breeding dogs, but it's lowers the risk of getting cancers. Like dogs that have a uterus, if you leave them with a uterus, even if you don't breed them or anything, they have a higher rate of getting some cancers. And so a big reason to do that is because of the cancers. But for boys, they always say it's to like make sure they're not aggressive, which is interesting. Every time I think about being contrarian, even just for funsies, I consider the number of earnest advocates the devil has out there right now. Oh yeah, I would never devil's advocate one of those things. I would more devil's advocate like pineapple on pizza is what I'm saying. Really shallow shit. You know what I mean? Or like, is a hot dog a sandwich? I would never any of those, because those to me are not, like, I kind of feel exactly how you feel. There's enough crazies out there that truly believe it. We don't need someone like me sitting here being a dick about it. Just for funsies, like that shit's disgusting. And it wouldn't be fun for me. I would feel gross. I would feel icky. You know what I mean? Oh, against their own kind. Oh my god, do they murder their own kind? Are they like fucking zebras who like murder each other's babies? Zebras are wild. I've seen a male zebra rip a baby out of another female's asshole while she was giving birth and murder it because it wasn't his. Zebras, my dudes. Zebras are the fucking murder bitches of Africa. Holy shit. Everything in Africa. Everybody's like, Australia wants to kill you. Hippos aren't in Australia. Zebras aren't in Australia. Both highly murderous creatures. I don't know what the fuck. Where's this murderous Australia coming from? They have like one big spider and the world's like, Australia's out to get us. Oh no. Cheers, Viata. You think so, Mickey? They wouldn't have to cut that many corners. When Bonnie's friend got his balls removed, he refused to see his boy dog friends for weeks and only walked with her. Oh, poor baby. If I cut your balls off, if I cut off your balls, you will be defeated too. And not from loss of testosterone alone, but I mean, those are your balls. And I feel like that's probably a big part of it, actually, slow cow. So, Lizzie, that's another aspect to add to it. for a male dog that has balls, it's an external body part you've removed versus a female dog, you've just tied up and removed something on the inside that's not visible. That they probably can't like they know something's happened, but for a male dog, you're like literally removing something external from the body, maybe. Maybe that's a big part of it too. Maybe it's like having a hand severed. They like are like, what's wrong with me? I'm broken, you know? As a non-penis haver, that's really interesting to think about. Zoe, what else would you come back to though? Let's be real. From the articles, so we are not, as a rule, as lethally violent towards our fellow man as meerkats or towards each other. Wow. Meerkats are more violent towards each other than humans are. That's meerkats, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. Hyenas are amazing. The fact that female hyenas have penises they have to give birth through, and sometimes it explodes and they hemorrhage out and die after giving birth is fucking metal. Hyenas, though. Holy shit. No wonder they laugh. So, Mad Mart, it's interesting. I don't know why black widows got the stereotype of eating their husbands because honestly, the vast majority of the insect world that is carnivorous consumes the sperm donor while they're donating the sperm. You know what I mean? I have a couple male tarantulas that are planned mates for my females. Their names are quite literally Snack and Snack because the chances of them getting away alive after a successful pairing is slim. It's slim. It's kind of the way nature works. Most of the time, the female wants to have like if she's not been recently fed well, she's usually hungry afterwards and has a snack. But praying mantises do the same thing. A lot of the times, the female praying mantis, while the male is literally on her back, mounting her, and they are connected, she'll turn around and just chew his head off. He's now a permanent set of gonads she gets to keep on her back. It's pretty wild. Like, nature is fucking metal. But most carnivorous insects consume one another. Or, like, my velvet spiders, Erysis walkeneri, ? Because they are taxonomically named horribly. I have 3 of them. I have 3 females, but I did have a few males. And if I was to breed my velvet spiders or ladybird spider or whatever you want to call them, they have a couple of different common names, but it's Erysis walkeneri is their scientific name, their Latin name. If I bred them, the female, the moment she becomes inseminated, her body actually starts to break down on the inside. And by the time she has laid the eggs and the eggs start to hatch or like their legs just pop out, they're really just eggs with legs at a certain point. By the time that happens, she will stay with the egg sac the entire time and she's alive. By the time the eggs start to move around and become spiders, her body will have broken down all the way to the point where all she has left is like the necessary organs like lungs. And the babies will just consume her and she will let them. She sacrifices her bodies. They have 1 litter of babies and they're done. And they just let their babies eat them completely. It's wild. But get this. So, male spiders, like I said, they most of the time get eaten by the female counterpart. If they don't get eaten, they just kind of die. Male spiders, tarantulas, arachnids in general, tend to live about a 16th of the lifespan of the females. So, for instance, I have one species of tarantula where the female can live up to 35 years. The male, 5. Maybe. That's generous. So they're kind of like, they're a meal regardless. They're either a meal for ants or they're a meal for mommy. You know what I mean? Nature's fucking wild. Oh, yeah. I can see why male humans got real scared. When we started learning about nature, they're like, shit, they're going to eat us. Wait. Is a tarantula a pet I can pet or even handle? Yes, you can. But as my Nana taught me, just because you can doesn't mean you should. It's kind of a controversial topic. If you ask, like, if you look up like tarantula YouTube videos and tarantula Instagrams and stuff like that, the things that get big hits are watching a tarantula crawl on a hand. So lots of people do it. However, it's insanely dangerous for the life of the spider. I don't encourage it. I do not handle any of my tarantulas. Spiders in general, tarantulas have 1 ganglion as their nervous system. That's their nervous system. Versus you and I have countless trillions of billions of nervous cells making up this jiggly jello form in our skulls. You know what I mean? So they don't have the capacity for like a bond or anything like that. Like they have the capacity for instinct and survival, and, like, that's it. So the best I can do with my tarantulas in terms of making them feel okay when I'm around, i.e. feeding them, is make them have an enclosure that simulates their natural environment as much as possible so they feel safe as fuck. So even when I open the enclosure, most of my tarantulas don't dart away, they don't run away from me because they know there's a place they can hide immediately, so they don't feel panicky, like, they have a safe place in their enclosure somewhere, but their abdomen doesn't have an exoskeleton, so you know how, like, most insects and stuff, they have, like, a hard shell all over their body, so they can take a pretty hard fall. Tarantulas have a very soft butt that holds all of their organs, essentially. The carapace, the middle part, or their they don't have a middle part because they only have 2 parts, but you know what I mean, the carapace where their legs come off, that's just musculature and lymph fluid moving their legs. Their abdomen is where all the important stuff is, and it's basically a water balloon made of wet tissue paper, that's how soft it is, and all they need is about 3 to 4 inches of a fall, and that ass will just burst, and they just die. There's nothing you can do. That's it. And most tarantulas are what we call fossorial or terrestrial, meaning they either just live on the earth, like under a log or next to a log or something, or they dig a hole into the earth. That's fossorial. Like I have one species, she's actually up here, who in nature, she's from Thailand. She would dig a 7-meter hole into the earth and live in it her entire 25-year lifespan. She just waits for bugs to crawl in who are stupid and then she eats them. That's her life. The other, like, very small percentage of tarantulas are arboreal, meaning they live in trees or climb up things. They're the only ones that have that stickum on their feetsies to climb. All the other ones, if it, like, got spooked and climbed off your hand, it wouldn't climb around your hand conveniently, it would just go off the end of your hand, and that's the end of your spood. You know what I mean? And anything can spook them. Like, they're covered in little hairs that sense every fucking air movement around them because their eyesight's terrible. So the chance of like murdering one of my spoods for I don't know, to hold it, I guess, is just not worth it to me personally. To each their own though. You can. Yeah. Lots of people do. I'm not gonna. I've had mine like crawl on me on accident my part, on their yes purpose, and I don't like it. It feels like something that has feathers for feet and mystically weight is walking across your arm. It's so weird. They have tiny little furry paws that are very soft, so they don't like disturb things, so they can move very silently. And when they walk across your hand, they feel like little feathers, but there's like a little bit of weight to it. It's very creepy. Not a fan. And the risk of them dying is just like it's there. I don't wanna do that. There is no deadly tarantula in the world, though. There's no tarantula that can end your life unless you have some predisposed allergy or condition or something like that. So if you were worried about getting bit by one or something like that, the chances of one biting you is slim to none. It's not their defense mechanism because that instinctual ganglion they have tells them their venom's not good enough to affect something this big. So if they bite you, it's usually to hold on because they're falling off of you or because you've tried to squish them. Like it's their last result. It's panic. They're dying. It's the only time it will really happen ever. Ever. You know what I mean? Sorry to go on a tangent. I know too much about spiders. Hi, Greg. I was talking about little Greg. Did you hear me? I wasn't sure if you flopped over to another stream or not, but I was talking about little Greg. He's one of my well, hopefully she's one of my chunkers. Yes, exactly. I honestly, the way I treat my tarantulas is like a fish tank. It's a fish tank that doesn't need water changes or pH checks or a water filter. It's like owning a cactus that wants less interaction. But the coolest thing about tarantulas that's kind of ruined me for like all other animals is you can get a tarantula, little baby, you put it in an enclosure, and the next day they have redone the enclosure. They will web all the fuck over it, move stuff around, push stuff, bury stuff, dig holes. They are like little carpenters. It's amazing. They're little construction people. No other animal does that. So sometimes I'll look at my geckos and be like, why didn't you spin a home overnight? Are you lazy? Whereas my spiders do fucking work. Like, it's so epic what they can do sometimes. My right thumb just shed the thumbprint. What have you done? They're like me when I go outside, kind of. All the gooey bits, all the good gooey bits are in the butt. Yeah. It's sad. We don't want that to happen. So that's like a really long answer for a short question. But it is kind of controversial because there's a lot of people who do handle their tarantulas. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't risk it. They don't like it. Like their instinct is get away from the big moving mammal thing. You know what I mean? Mine, like almost all of my tarantulas I got as babies. So even if they're huge now, I got them as this big. So it's not like we don't have a bond, but they've learned routines. Like when I walk over to the shelf they're all on, a good number of my tarantulas will suddenly start to move towards the side of the tank that I'm standing on because they know that the vibrations of me moving and standing there means they're probably going to get fed. So a lot of my tarantulas will literally put their paws at the opening and wait for me to crack it open and take a roach from my pinchers, like, and crawl away. Some people might mistake that for like, oh, they love me, we're bond. It's not even possible. You know what I mean? It's like people love to what's that term when people put like animal or human emotions on other animals? Like we love to do that, but it ain't there. I do. I have one bird eater. I had two, but one was a male, so I shipped it off to get hopefully bred. I gave it away to someone in the hobby. But I do have one bird eater. She is a apophysis. What's the first word? Oh my god, I forgot. Apophysis. She's a pink-footed Goliath bird eater. But is it anthropomorphizing? Yeah, people love to anthropomorphize their pets. But it's not. It's not possible with one brain cell. It's like, you know what I mean? One. It's like one. Like most humans can't feel feelings and they have like tons. Just like put in those concepts. But yeah, it's mostly like a fish tank, but way lower maintenance. Way lower maintenance. No smell, no cleanup. Like unless you really want to, you can take a Q-tip once a year, go in there and get a couple dots off. Did the Cowboys win? I haven't been following football. I used to get way too into it. It makes my heart high. Do you own it? Yeah, I do. Just one though, and she's a baby. Her name is Brittany Bitch. I named her literally for Britney Spears because she's a badass, but for Brittany Bitch because she's just it's a double. She's BB. I call her BB because some people think it's baby, which is funny because she's arguably going to be my biggest tarantula. She's a baby right now, but a baby bird eater is like this big, which is hilarious to me. But it's big bitch or it's Brittany Bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty dope, but she hides all the time. It's real hard to show her off. Some of us have, I was just Lizzie, I was going to say, some of us have one brain cell. Enough to be a Twitch Valorant streamer? Possibly. Dude, they'd probably be better, honestly, with all those arms. They have 8 legs and 2 special little arms they can use on a keyboard. Shut up. They'd be so talented. Fish actually can feel. What do you mean? I mean, tarantulas can feel, like, pain and stuff, if that's what you mean. You mean, like, fish emote? I think fish have a much more complicated nervous system than a tarantula, though. Fish, like, I don't know. I don't know as much about fish at all. I had a fish tank when I was in college. I loved it, but holy shit, it was so goddamn high maintenance. I just can't stand them. I get way too neurotic about water. I can't do water aquatic things, and they can stink. Like aquatic animals tend to stink. So like I have a pixie frog that has like a bowl of water, and that's it. I don't do aquatic because it's just fucking stinky. Viata, let's cheers Viata off to a good day of work. I hope it is awesome. I hope you get all the tips in the world. Please be safe. I hope no one coughs on you and is weird. Oh, I need to grind up weed. That's what I was doing. Ha ha ha. Wonder why furries exist. Not like humans are humanizing animals. Because furries, honestly, I've always been attracted to like anthropomorphized art and stuff like that. Like, I didn't even know it was called a furry thing when I was a kid. Like when I first started seeing that kind of art on like DeviantArt and stuff, I can't remember what was the word for it. It wasn't called furry. I don't even know if that was a thing yet, furries in general. Maybe it was. I was probably too young to know what it was. There was a word for it, though, and I loved it because it softened and took away all the ugly features of humans, in my opinion. Like our weirdness that makes us so fucking weird compared to other animals. Whenever you anthropomorphize it in art and stuff, it's like you just take it all away and it made it somehow better. I'ma grind up weed. Where's my weed? Anthro. Was it just anthro? I think it was. I want to say it was like that. It wasn't anthropomorphic. That was way too long of a word. It was something shorter like that. It might have been anthro or something like that. But it was like a category on DeviantArt, and I would look at that art all the time, and I loved it. I always thought it was gorgeous. I love, like, it was like more human-looking werewolf type characters and stuff like that. And that shit was I love that stuff. I always thought that was so pretty. And then furry, like, I learned what furry culture was through, like, SVU or something. I'm sure you guys have all seen the episode I'm talking about, where it's like they scriff or something and it makes it out to be this whole sexual thing where they're murdering. I don't even remember. They put pheromones on each other to make it weird. And I was like, but what? And then I made a friend who was a furry or whatever it was called then, I can't remember, who actually like wore cat ears and a tail and like identified with it and everything. And I learned so much more and I was like, okay, so not everyone's a scriffing murderer with fucking, okay. TV is bad is what I learned. The furry fandom started in 70s and 80s, so it was absolutely around then. Yeah, it was probably just I was in such a small town, like probably no one was really exposed to the community. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know what BDSM was until I went to college. I'd never heard about it ever in my life. Like I'd seen a few movies that emulated it, but had no clue. I did not have the word for it because we didn't like the internet really opens up exposure. Let me say, I know you guys don't need me to, but y'all know. Holy shit. Before the internet, it was like unless you lived in a city or knew someone in a city, it was fucking dark ages. It was wild. This is apple pie. Excuse me. Oops, my chat did the jump again. It's doing weird shit today, so I apologize if I miss any chats. It just here we are. I used to stroke my fish. I actually had puffer fish that would bite me if I put my finger in the tank. That was fun. When you have to buy chickens to feed it, you will be like, how? Wait, to feed what? What am I feeding chickens to? What am I feeding chickens to? Myself? Cats and dogs are fun to pet, and at least a dog will play with you and, if trained, protect you. I can't see a spider giving a darn. Nope, they don't. It's literally, it's kind of a piece of, like a piece of living art, like a chia. That's more how I would view a tarantula. So if you're looking for an animal that's like interactive, or that's gonna bond or hang or give a fuck about you, it's not the one. There's been one sitting behind me this entire stream. I don't know if you can tell. Those are her little feetsies right there. She don't give a fuck about me, about anything that's going on, the world. She's indifferent to it. She lives in her fun little webbed hole, and that's like, you know what I mean? The bigger the spider doesn't necessarily equate to intelligence. The smartest spiders are jumping spiders. Those ones still are kind of a mystery. Holy crap. I don't know because she doesn't react. I don't know. I assume maybe she's watching the show and she's been a big fan the whole time. I was like 9 years old. Yeah, I think I was high school when I saw that fucking episode of whatever that stupid show was where they made it out to be like furries were scary, like sexual deviants and shit. It took me a while to learn that wasn't real, and I do think the internet helped a lot. Erican, thank you for summing the class, keeping the class alive, giving a name swings, you silly fuck. My chat just did a weird thing, and I'm trying to catch up on it, but I appreciate you, and I see you, boo. Motherfucker. Your big ass spider but that was a joke. I forgot to indicate it was a joke. Oh no, it's fine. It's cool. I got you. I'm an idiot. That's okay. Details are overrated. Look at the forest. It's way cooler. How do you know? She might be singing to you soliloquy. Shut up. Oh. My goldfish lasted 12 years. Then my mom's asshole ex-boyfriend didn't feed them when we went to California. He just watched our TV and drank our milks. Oh. So Melody ate Ariel. He sounds like a douche. What a dick. Boo. If you had to be reincarnated into any tarantula in your next life, which one would you be? You would then be reincarnated again after that life. Which one would I be if I was reincarnated into any tarantula I own or any tarantula? Do we have a choice? Or is it any tarantula I own? That's a really good question. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking either way. Let me think. If I was going to be reincarnated into any tarantula, I would probably be the one that's named just got recently re-taxonomized because they named it wrong. So give me 1 second. I have to look it up. I will tell you why, though. Oh, wait. Any tarantula. I can pick 2 answers. I can pick 2. Okay. I'll give you 2. The first one, my dog just farted. God, you stink, Lilith. Fuck, dude. Her farts are like, it smells like someone took a dump. It's so bad. God. Why? Why do I keep sniffing? That's the true question. Hold on. Ew. I just wanted to put on some music to distract me from the smell. Okay. You all stink. They're more powerful than my weed, and that's saying something. I need those feels. Oh, bless Erican. It's easy. Weed. In her language, she's the shade in the Hades. You're like, oh, cute. Imagine. She's like trying to high five me this whole time, and I just ignore her. Oh my god, do you think Twitch would try to monetize my spiders? Stop. Okay, so I gotta look up the spider name. The first tarantula I'd want to be reincarnated to is the first word of the scientific name is ornithoctinone. Ornithoctinone. I hate them too. I'm not doing this to be impressive. It's just really the word. I hate it. Ornithoctinone. And it used to be Ornithoctinone species san something, and recently they renamed it because they named it after the wrong locality, as they usually do, because they usually just like kind of temporarily name tarantulas where they find them if they find a new species, and then like once the expedition's over, they sit down with the actual tarantulas and go, okay, what's the difference between all these? Where did they come from? Da 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 da. And I was Googling them the other day, strangely, and this one's been renamed because it was in the wrong place or something. Let me look it up real quick. But they're gorgeous. And the reason I choose this tarantula is because they can be arboreal and fossorial throughout their life. When they're young, they're usually always fossorial, meaning they're going to dig a hole and just live in it to protect themselves. But as adults, they can choose. They can go between fossorial or arboreal simply because where they're from is floodlands. They live in a place where it's high humidity, like jungle, heavy rains like that. So if they're fossorial 24/7, their hole could literally fill up with water and they could just drown. Because like we talked about, spiders kind of have gills. They can't hold their breath, and their gills are on their bellies. So if they're drowning, if they're in water, they're done for. So in times of like flood and just catastrophe, they can climb up a tree and make good just as good. Like they can spin themselves a fucking web, and they're also gorgeous. Yeah, it's ornithoctonine. This is the word. That word. That's the first word in their name, right there. Ornithoctinine, whatever. But I'm trying to look up the specific one. It used to be this is what it used to be, is Mindanao Central is what it used to be. And spider warning. That's what my girl looks like. But she's kind of small. Wow, that's a terrible picture. Really? Is it not gonna that's it? That's all you got for me? She's gorgeous. Look at that. They are like an emerald olive green, and they have tiger stripies. They're very, very shy. They tend to be very, very timid. Super rare. Very rare. Kind of looks like fucking weed, right? Thank you for saying that. I didn't want to say it. I wanted someone else to point it out, right? She's literally a little nug. It's fantastic. So for sake of like how versatile they can live, that would probably be my first option. Also, I'm definitely a cave dweller. Like I would live in a fucking cave, 100%. That would be my first choice. Second choice, I'd be a motherfucking OBT because everyone is afraid of them. That's what I'd be. I'd never have to worry about anyone touching me because everyone thinks they're the devil. It's just because they're fast. That's it. They don't kick hairs. They don't have a deadly bite, as does no tarantula. They're just fast. I have two of them. They do move like lightning, quote unquote. But that's it. That's about as exciting as you're going to get with one of those. They are called the orange baboon tarantula or the orange bitey thing. Because what tarantulas do that are called old world tarantulas, meaning they come from like Africa or Asia or not America, basically, they can't kick hairs. So what they do is they flip over on their back and they put all their arms out and try to make themselves look as big as possible. And they do this with their fangs at you. And if you fuck with them after that point, they will actually slap the ground really hard with their front feet and then go back up. Slap, go back up. Slap, go back up. It's the fucking most hilarious shit I've ever seen. I've had maybe 2 tarantulas ever go into a defensive posture, and it was because I was rehousing them. And it's kind of like watching Stuart from Mad TV, like, defend himself. You know what I mean? Like, "Stop it, I don't wanna. Stop it. I don't want." Like, it's the fucking it's hilarious. They're just pansies. Spiders are pansies. It's kind of an if Ape Ground Pound ended with, like, it was like a burpee ground pound. Imagine a burpee ground pound. That. Full down, full up, motherfucker. Full down, full up, big smile. Full down, full up. That's what they do. But they do it real fast. They try to make a sound. And some of them, like, I'll show you what an OBT looks like. They're beautiful. I love them. They're bright. They're neon orange. I have one named Gimli and one named Legolas. Scientific name is Pteronoculus murinus, if anybody gives a fuck about that nightmare. But they are one of the most well-known for doing this threat posture, because I guess they get scared really easily. But look at how beautiful they are. They look like a fucking colored. I mean, that's nature. Nature did that. That's not edited. I have 2 of them. They are this color. But that is the threat posture. So if they do that at you and you, like, poke them, they just will start slapping the ground maniacally with their front legs to try to make you go away, basically. But again, even if they bit you, it would be like 2 needles poking you. Their venom is insignificant. This is what they do. They roll over on their back like that. That is the ultimate threat posture. It's fucking hilariously sad. They're just kind of precious beans of fear. They're like Cheeto spiders. They're beautiful. Also, I don't know if you can tell, see how their feetsies are like neon green kind of? They're like what's the word? Almost a little holographic. That shininess can scare away predators as well. So that's like the first, they put their legs up, they hope to God that scares you, and then if you keep trying to eat them, then they'll start slapping the ground with their hands. I mean, it's humorous at best. But they live in a tunnel of web, and you never ever see them again. They're really shy. Fake death when aggression, yes. Yeah. Yeah, they have nothing. I mean, they're really, it's amazing that tarantulas are literally from the prehistoric era. They're kind of an evolutionary powerhouse in that they haven't had to change since then. And they have virtually nothing, no fight against us other than they hide well. Like, that's it. The vast majority of them, like, live underground or in old trees in the forest and stuff, and we will never, ever, ever see one unless we're, like, digging, you know what I mean? All tarantulas are drama queens. All of them. I've had one of my Nandu chromatises literally threat pose me because I watered their water dish. I put a little water in their water dish, and they were like... I was like, really? Are you... I know you're, like, blind, but really? Tarantulas. Wait, Shaquille O'Neal is an OBT? Is that... Oh, my God. Okay, so will you promise to remind me if I ever get another OBT? Because here's the thing. OBTs, everyone's scared of them for some reason. So every time you buy a tarantula, you usually will get a free OBT. Like, they'll be like, you get a free OBT with every order. So if I ever get another one, please remind me to name it Shaquille. I have to. And print that and put that on the cage, because that's fucking fantastic. They're kind of just like a cat. Like, tickle my belly, trap. Yeah, yes. Yep, but cats can do way more harm than a tarantula ever could. Holy shit. Allow yourself
penetrate that asshole.
to penetrate that asshole. You coming into my house, motherfucker? Close the door. There's a draft. Were you born in a barn? What are we, heating the atmosphere? Who's the dad in chat? Keep going with it. Help. I've run out. That's terrifying. Oh, you can always say no. They just offer it. You can always say no. But I mean, that's why I have so many, Lizzie. I swear to God, I haven't paid for 20 of the tarantulas I own. Because every time you breed a tarantula, you get like 200 babies-ish. And the ones that no one wants, because they've become scary for some fucking reason, they prevailed as a scary spider, they just give away. You can always say no, though. If I ever decided to overcome my fear and buy a tarantula, I'd be like, okay, it's just one. And they'll be like, and your free gift you now have 2 spiders. It is kinda I mean, honestly, I've gotten a lot of my spiders for free because of that. Do not touch the thermostat. That's my go-to, but not as a spider. My dad used to tape it shut so he could tell if we tried to touch it. But we had a three-story house, and we had one of those old school thermostats where, like, wherever the thermostat was, the whole house would be gauged by that temperature, and he put it in the middle floor right where the sun shone in a window, so that thing would cook, and it would air condition the house to the point where I lived in the basement, I would be, like, sub-zero. I'd be like, dying. It was terrible. But the top floor where my parents lived would be, like, 100 degrees. It was bad. It wasn't very good at the whatever, the equalizing. Enough global warming outside so we don't need to heat it up anymore. Keep the door shut. Thank you. My dad wouldn't have used global warming, though. You born in a barn. Are we heating up the world? Are you paying the power bill? I got a free surprise CBD recently, so I just imagined a spider version. Oh, that's beautiful. I've never gotten a surprise animal, ever. I've gotten a few. Well, no, that's a lie. My frog was a surprise, but not a gift surprise. You remember. That was an egg in a leaf of a plant I bought. Knives the bitch was an egg. Like, that was a surprise, but, like, that was a surprise to all parties involved. I've never, like, never. They would never just surprise because, like, they can't. How would they assume you have an enclosure ready? You know, they could be sending that spider to its death. What if you couldn't afford another enclosure or something like that? Holy shit. I would have one, but I think you convinced me it wouldn't be the pet I really want. It's if you're looking for something that's in any way interactive, not really. Nah. If you want something that's low maintenance and is interactive, uh, crested geckos are amazing. Also, I don't know if I'm biased or not, but I really fucking love my frogs. I have a little colony behind me of they're called dumpy frogs, dumpy tree frogs, or White's tree frogs. It's just the guy's name, White, something White, I don't remember. But they are from Australia. They get pretty big. They get about this big, but I raised I raised them from eggs to tadpoles to this. My stream actually kind of got to watch me like do the water changes and stuff and watch them get legs. But they are so hilarious. And they are the first animal other than my crested geckos that are aware that like I can tell they're aware of me. Like they are interacting with me, not because of me. Like a tarantula will react. But my frogs, like if I move this, like I'm at the end of my stream today when I go over there and feed them and stuff, they all perk their heads up, like their little froggy bodies, and they start walking over to the edge and looking at me. And sometimes they'll try to crawl out on me because they know what's coming. They're adorable. They look like little green old men. Like they just have all this skin. They're like the Shar-Pei of frogs. Mine are still kind of young. Mine are about a year and some change old. But when they can, I think they live about 15-ish years. But when they get about 5 years, they can get pretty big. And they're just, look up dumpy tree frog. I'll look it up too. I'll show everyone. They're fucking hilarious looking. But they're aware of me. You know what I mean? Like I have snakes and they are aware because of me. Their intelligence is, she's coming to the cage. There must be food. I'm ready. And they look at me, but their eyesight's terrible, and they do this to try to focus on me, and they're trying to see where the fuck is the food. Whereas the frogs, like, I don't know, man, they're kind of fucking cute. I'm kind of obsessed with them. I don't know. Their little eyes and the way they, like, look at you is just cute. And they like, I don't know, I really like them. That's probably one of my favorite animals I've had that is actually, like, you can see that other than my dogs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? All frogs are gay. Did you not because of the water, you didn't know? Are they all named Kermit? I actually call them the Four Horsemen because I started with like 15 tadpoles and they told me I'd probably only end up with one frog. So I didn't want to name any of them. I was like, "Oh god." Because basically what happens is they're kind of like they just start eating each other. Nature, I guess, of the same litter, like the tadpoles that are bigger will just start consuming the smaller tadpoles, and that's the way they do it in the wild, and this is normal, but it's really heartbreaking. But I got four because at a certain point I separated them all into their own tanks, and I was like, you four will live, and I have them. One I do call Joy. You know how we say take your joy? ever since it was a tadpole, I shit you not, like, the tadpoles got huge, by the way. The head of the tadpole was eventually that big before they sprouted legs. It was wild. But ever since it was a tadpole, it had this white spot on its head that looked like a grain of rice or a fucking Lexapro, which is my joy. And I just started calling him Joy because it looked like a pill. So they're like the four horsemen with joy. Joy and the four horsemen, if you will. I don't know. He still has the white spot, like as a frog. Just a fucking dot in the middle of his head. It's weird. Do you live at a herp aquarium that was formerly your house? I wish. My dream. Frogs kind of have personality. Yeah. They are. Oh my God, Lord Hybrid. If I could compare these frogs, oh my God, I have to Google them now, to anything ever, it's literally Baby Yoda. And I'm not just saying that. Come on. Because they have huge black eyes because they're nocturnal. Look at this. Tell me that doesn't look like Baby Yoda. That's what they look like. Mine are called snowflakes, so mine look like this. They have white spots all over them, but this is exactly what they look at you like. Like when I walk over to the tank, all of them push themselves up on their front legs and look at me with this fucking adorable face that I melt for every day. No, they're not difficult to care for at all. That's what I was saying. Some frogs are, like a lot of tree frogs and frogs are very water dependent. So basically you have to have some sort of like water feature, like a waterfall. But these guys are from Australia. So basically, as long as you have a bowl of fresh water in the tank and you mist them once a day, they're good to go. They're called waxy tree frogs or white tree frogs, dumpy waxy tree frogs. Waxy tree frog is like a category of tree frog. And it's a type of tree frog that actually has a waxy coating on their body that protects them from dehydrating. So, like the little green tree frogs you probably find in your backyard if you're from the Pacific Northwest or otherwise, those will die without moisture. They don't have that. They don't have that waxy coating. These guys, they can like suction onto a tree and chill. I know, they're fingies, everything. They come in a couple different colors. Like you can get them kind of blue like this. Mine are kind of this color. All of them. They're all from the same parents, but this is an adult. Fuck off. Tell me that isn't moisturize me. Literally, I say that almost every day. I'm not even fucking with you. How can you tell whether the frog is female or male? So I don't know if waxy tree frogs are dimorphic or not. However, I do know that to breed them, you basically have to simulate rain for 6 weeks on them. And I ain't doing that, so I'm not worried about them fucking. It's really hard to breed them. Moral of the story. They're one of the most difficult breeds of frog to breed because you have to simulate rain for 6 weeks somehow in an enclosure. I don't even know how the fuck you would do that, but look at them. Mine look like this. Mine are still young. Mine are only about a year old, but they end up all wrinkly and old, and they're just, look at those precious fucks. Look at those chubby little arms. I thought mist, but so this is super weird, Lord Hybrid. I'm not even kidding you. Have you watched Stranger Things? I'm really bad with names. It's the sheriff dude from Stranger Things. What's his name? The actor. He's in other shit. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. He did an interview recently, and I learned that he's obsessed with dumpy tree frogs. We have a lot in common. Cool people like dumpy tree frogs, but he's been obsessed with them since he was a teenager. He's been raising them and tackling the challenge of trying to breed fucking dumpy tree frogs his whole life. This fucking amazing actor married to that British singer who's amazing. What does she sing? The Fuck You song. I'm really bad with names. But he said, like, it's literal, like, pouring rain. Lily Allen, thank you. He's married to Lily Allen. I cannot remember his name. Is it David Harbour? I'm going to Google it. I'm just really bad at names. Yes. Fun fact, David Harbour is also obsessed with dumpy white tree frogs, has been raising them since he was a child, and been attempting to breed them. And I watched a whole podcast about him talking about how difficult they are to breed because you have to simulate, like, a monsoon. What the fuck, right? How could we love him more? I mean, if you didn't know he was married to Lily Allen, that's already probably having a little bit of an effect on you. Yes, we've added love. And Lizzie, I know and I hate you so much. I'm so jelly. Her and Brittany, you've lived my life. But he also loves animals and raises fucking dumpy white tree frogs for funsies. We love him. They only breed in Seattle. Can you imagine? Well, they're from Australia. Like, where in Australia is there a monsoon? Or is it every year you guys get a monsoon? Everywhere in Australia. I have no idea. Let me see. It will probably say on here where the fuck they're from. The locale. Oh, it just says Australia, so all over. They're native to Australia, Indonesia, and New Guinea. That is important to say. Mine are the Australian version. There is an Indonesian white tree frogs, and I think they're exactly the same except for where they come from. But they're all captive bred in America, so I don't know. He married her? I know. Stole her, more like. Him and his frogs. Punctuation's overrated. This is a conversation. This isn't a thesis paper. Oh my god, I'm into it. I mean, like, Zach's even made comments. He's like, "You really love your frogs." I'm like, "I know. I really love my frogs." Like, I just I've laid on this table, like, and just stared. Their enclosure is unfortunately behind this enclosure I'm working on, so you can't even see them. They're back there, though. There's 4 of them, and they oftentimes, like, crawl around during the day, but they're mostly nocturnal. So usually it's in the evening around, like, 6 or 7 PM. I see them start to kinda wake up and start crawling around the enclosure and getting gooey and weird. They're just adorable. Yeah, I mean, you could. Obviously, it's possible to breed them. It's possible to set up some sort of thing because, I didn't buy mine from fucking Australia. That's illegal. I bought them from a captive breeding breeder, or it was actually a friend of mine in Baltimore who breeds stuff, but I just got some tadpoles for funsies. Like, it's possible, but I would not know how to even start. Or the size of the enclosure needed. I don't even know. It'd be incredible, but it'd be amazing business because they sell. If you buy a baby frog, not the tadpole, it's like $70 a pop. That's incredible for a frog, and I think it's because of what it takes to breed them, probably. High penis. I know. I'm sad, but also I feel like this TwitchCon would be super weird to be at. Did you see the little penis pictures I sent to I sent them to Twitter. If you didn't see them, I sent your spider to Twitter. She's beautiful. I'm going with it. It's gotta happen. Uh, if they were super nosy, like frogs? Oh, noisy. Actually, not really. I have heard them make sounds, though. I don't want to say that they're silent, but they usually only chirp when I missed them. I don't know why, or if that's, but at nighttime, I have like a little mister and I pump it up with like clean water and I have these little drops I put in it and I miss them. And as they wake up, they'll be like, burp, 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 and they'll let out a couple chirps. But as far as I know, chirping is for breeding purposes. So if you're not simulating a monsoon, they're probably not trying to breed, so you're probably not gonna get a lot of chirping. That would be my like my logic, but I don't know. I haven't heard a ton. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she her little butt? Her little spinnerets I mean, I just can't. She's grown so big. Do you remember when I got her penis? I looked at pictures on my Instagram. She was as big as my pinky nail. I'm not even kidding. She was one that I questioned whether or not she would live. I'm serious. I remember, like, she started in a fucking deli cup. I don't have one near me. Like, a deli cup like this big. That was her first home because she was so small. I remember. It's wild how big she's gotten. I wanna get a snake in the future. What would you recommend for a beginner? For a snake? What are your goals with your snake? Like, can I ask why a snake? In no judgmental way. This helps the question. Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for, like, an animal for a display? Or are you looking for something that you wanna interact with all the time? Or is it something do you think you'll interact with for 2 weeks, get bored with, and then leave alone forever? No judgment. It happens to everybody. But real questions. Because I don't think there's an easy snake to take care of or a not easy. It's all, like, what kind of personality you want. And snakes, just based on, like, their body and where they come from, have different personalities in general. For fun, like, do you wanna interact with it all the time? Like, are you looking for something that you wanna hold a lot? Scare children to get rid of bodies? I mean, it's kept my family away from my house. You wanna touch well, most all snakes that are commercially available these days are gonna be interactable, like, you can hold them, but there are some snakes that are what we consider more, their feeding response is higher. And the reason I ask is, for instance, like, if you let me pull up 2 pictures. Actually, fuck, we desperately need to take a break because otherwise an ad is going to run over my stream and you might get an ad in the middle of us talking and I'm going to feel really bad. Do you have a minute for us to take a quick 3-minute break? And I'll pull up 2 different pictures of just 2 different snake varieties to show you what I'm talking about when I talk about the differences and the advantages and disadvantages to both. Sure, I will be back in like 3 to 5 minutes. Just take my dog out and run a little ad break real quick, just so they don't auto run. It's my biggest fear. I fucking hate when they auto run. I hate them. This should be free. Necessary evils, I guess. Worst part of the job, let me tell you. Quick break, and then I will tell you about just a couple different snake varieties that, in my opinion, are great beginner snakes. But I'll give you the pros and cons on the different species. You know what I mean? And there are a few species, depending on where you live, that you literally can't get that are awesome, but you just can't get them. Like in the United States, like in Colorado, for instance, you can't get a hognose snake because in northern Colorado, I guess there's a few places where they've been witnessed to be native, so they don't want you getting like foreign hognose and letting them wild here. In Florida, you can't get anything because hurricanes let everything loose. Like think of all those houses floored. If any of those houses had snakes, they're out. And they are thriving. Anyways, quick break. I'll be back in a few. System, I mean, what would be so different? You'd have no penis. Oh, you picked up the new Stephen King? Oh, what is it called? Like Fairy Tale? Is it the one called Fairy Tale? You have to let me know how good it is. I almost picked it up the other day, but I was like, ooh, I gotta wait. I got so many books I'm reading right now. I gotta be patient. But I just broke a nail. Ouch. Am jelly. Dude, who knows how to socialize IRL? I've asked that question many times, especially as an adult. Like, how do you make friends? How do you approach people IRL and be like, hey, do you like things I like? I don't know. I have no idea. The crazy neon. Oh my god, what are those called? I had those up the other day on a stream. I learned about them a little bit just from the description. The ones that like they look like they have little lights, like they're what are they called? Like fairy lights twinkling on them. What are those called? The comb jellies, right? Like bloody comb jelly or something. These guys, look at this shit, my dudes. Jesus Christ. Lion's mane? How big are they though? That's what she said. Just got back from a wedding or heading home from a wedding and surprisingly anxious at the beginning. But once I figured out most of them are nerds, the conversation just flowed. Nice. Difficult thing is my nerd kind doesn't really socialize or go out often. So it's hard to find where my congregate and make friends. 100% agree on that one. Oh my fucking what? I hate all of it. Look at this fuck. Not that. Okay, why? Hey, it's our soft talker. 100 feet? What the fuck? Uh-uh. It is beyond gorgeous, but it's big enough to eat that person. Right? Like, could that person just be like up in that? It's beautiful, but also it's wait, steak omelet or pepper chicken? Oh, steak omelet. Steak omelet. Steak omelet. I wake this morning to find out that I have Talion. I don't know. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, no, you got gifted a sub. Congratulations. I gotta look up more now. What is it called? Lion's mane? Holy fuck off. No. That's not real. Is that edited? That's not real. That's not real. That makes me supremely uncomfortable. This is the source of all my deep sea fears. But that looks way more astronomical than the one you showed me. It looks edited to me. Because you look at these ones with it out, like, imagine it's definitely bigger in the water, but it's not that much bigger. That was a little bit of a nightmare. There's the one you were showing. Yeah, that one just looks more it looks like a real picture. Yeah. Those look like they were spliced together, but that one looks definitely more realistic. That is just an absolute no sack, though. I don't know. If any, I don't I know there's, what are they, squid that big, and I'm just not down for that. I don't wanna nope. I'll die. Like, my body is so fucking hyper viscerally aware of my humanity around those animals. Jesus Christ. They're still huge. They are kind of gorgeous, though. I mean, look at those fuck off. Look at those colors. That's phenomenal. Nature knows what's up, is all I'm saying. God damn. Dude, snakes are really cool, honestly. So the two snakes I wanted to bring up are, all snakes are really similar. The care is going to be very, very similar for most snakes. There are some very rare, strange species of snake. Not strange, but rare where they like eat. They have a hyper specific diet, i.e., they eat eggs. Like there are some egg eating snakes that will only eat eggs. You can have a pet garter snake, but they eat like slugs and goldfish. Some people will feed them goldfish. Like some of them just have kind of like strange diets. So I'm not going to suggest any of those just because I don't like feeding a snake's already going to be a weird job for you. That's going to be weird. And I'm one of those people who is hyper against live feeding. I would never ever encourage you to get a snake if that's a goal. If you're getting a snake to watch it kill things, don't get a snake. You don't need one. Um, Rats and mice and the various things that we feed to our snakes have prevailed for a reason. They are covered in sharp danger things, murder weapons, and the sheer amount of times that snakes have been disemboweled by a rat or a snake or a mouse. Like people will drop a mouse in with their snake, leave for 15 minutes, come back, and their snake's throat is slit open and the mouse is shivering in the corner covered in blood, alive. The snake's eyes aren't great, and if they miss on a strike, there's a chance that rat's going to murder your animal. I would never, ever, ever put my animal in that risk. That being said, I've never had too much of a problem feeding my snakes, and some snakes are extremely picky, personality-wise, not species-wise, unfortunately. Let me pull them up. Okay. So, the two snakes I'm going to bring up, one is a python and one is a colubrid. First thing I'm going to talk about is the differences between those two things and why you might want one over the other. So, these are my two, in my opinion, I think these are like the coolest snakes that you would have the most fun with because you can interact with them. They are fun, they're beautiful, and they're unique. A lot of people will suggest you should get a ball python. I highly suggest you don't get a ball python. They have notoriously some of the most difficult time eating, and their nickname is literally called a pet rock snake because what they do is they curl up in a ball and they sit that way all the time. That's what they do. They're from northern Africa where they curl up under leaves that they blend into, and they just wait for things to run by. They're an opportunistic predator. This bitch right here on our right side, this is a Woma python. This is a python that's native to Central Australia. They are very active. They crawl around a lot, and they're super unique. So one thing you'll notice, let me pull up. I'll pull up a ball python real quick. So if you look at a ball python's face, most pythons have a very similar kind of aesthetic to their face. Will this be big enough? Yeah, perfect. So you see on the little ball python's face, you see these little pits, these holes around that adorable puppy dog snout it's got there. Those are called heat pits. So the way that most snakes and a lot of reptiles in general sense their prey is they sense the heat signature via those heat pits. Those heat pits they're breathing in and out of through their mouth. They can somehow sense where the heat of their prey is. On a Woma python, they don't have that. They look like an angry lizard. I have a Woma python. Her name is Cersei Lannister because she has angry eyebrows and looks like motherfucking Cersei Lannister. They're hilarious. But they don't have heat pits because they're from Central Australia, where everything in their immediate vicinity is 150 degrees at any given time. So what's the point of having heat pits? Like nothing's a different temperature. So they have to actively hunt, and the way they hunt is by dangling from a tree branch and kind of wavering back and forth and striking down, and it's hilarious. But they've got a great they eat really well. They'll always eat, great feeding response. They don't get too big. They can get up to 4 and a half to 5 feet long, but they're not gonna get like a big thick sausage. They're real thin because they're a tree, kind of a tree windy type snake. They are fun to hold because they actually move around, but not too much. It's not like they're trying to race out of your grip or anything like that. You know what I mean? They just kind of like to move around and sniff and taste stuff and check you out and crawl around. And she's one of my favorite snakes and one of the coolest and most unique. Their pattern is also quite hypnotizing. If you ever get to interact with one or see one or look up a video, the way that their pattern is all over their body is to look like, the shadow tree branches would cast on another tree branch. So that's kind of their defense mechanism, which I think is really, really cool. They have a very close relative called a black-headed python, but those are insanely rare and usually really, really expensive. But I've heard very similar temperament, and they do get bigger, but I'll show you what one looks like just because they're gorgeous. Um, that's the black-headed pythons. You've probably seen them in a zoo or something. They're fucking gorgeous. Very closely related, but not the same. And every once in a while I've seen them. That's a baby. Every once in a while I see them for sale, but they're really because and the reason they're expensive is they're pretty kind of new to the hobby, and I want to say like 15, 20 years ago, a law was passed where you could not import anything or export anything, any animals out of Australia anymore. Nothing. Period. End of story. So what America had was what America's got. Period. Unless it's illegally poached, in which case we don't support that and I don't encourage that at all. Always look for captive bred whenever you're buying an animal. Captive bred, always. Um, and so whoever had a black-headed python, it was like maybe, zoos and a handful of people, they had the market. Like that was it. So they're slowly starting to breed them more, so they're in the pet trade, but they're not really there yet. Whereas Woma pythons are becoming much more reasonably priced. And they're just in general fairly easy to take care of. They don't require insanely high amounts of humidity. They like a water bowl. Like every animal should, have a fucking clean water bowl every day. But other than that, they don't need humidity because, again, Central Australia where it's fucking hot and dry, and that's not a thing. So it's heat, water bowl, feed them a pre-killed rat once a week, and it's really easy. Whereas ball pythons, this bitch right here, I have a ball python. They are notorious for going 6 to 8 months without eating. They will be so picky that you will have to wipe mouse bedding that's been used by mice on a dead rat just to get them to eat a rat. You'll have to get them so you know how you can buy frozen mice and rats and stuff and thaw them, and almost every snake in the world will take them. Your Woma python will take anything. A ball python, I have to go to a pet store and get what's called pre-killed, meaning they quite literally go in the back, get a big live beautiful rat, crush its head and give it to me, and I have to drive home and get home while it's warm in order for her to eat. And those rats are $12 a pop. It's insane. And it's insanely common amongst ball pythons. Like they are just bitches. And they're kind of boring. They hide under a rock 24/7 all the time. So you're never going to see them. That's another thing. Like when you're not interacting with them, you literally would never see them. Whereas my Woma python, every day, every morning, she's out winding on her branches, chilling under, the light from a window. I don't use heat lamps because I think they're kind of dangerous, but you know what I mean? She's much more out interactive and stuff like that. And then the other snake I was going to say, if Woma python seems like you're not really feeling a python yet, like that might feel kind of big or intimidating, even if you got it as a baby, my second choice would be a king snake. For one, you can get it in a rainbow of colors. Like they have bred king snakes. All of these are a king snake. The California king snake I believe is this. This is like the California king snake. If red touches black, friend to Jack. If red touches yellow, kill a fellow. That's a fucking water snake and will murder you. But these are king snakes. You can get them pure black. You can get them pure white. You can get them stripy looking like this these days. You can get them looking like that. You can get them. They come. I mean, I think these are some of the most beautiful. This is I think one of the most natural forms that come in. I think it's gorgeous. You can get them in any color ever. They don't get too long. They don't get too big, you know what I mean? You're never gonna get some beefy fucking python you're gonna have to lift out of a cage. They're always gonna stay relatively light. The only disadvantage, and this is the difference between a python and a colubrid. And those are just two families of snakes. Both still snakes, both awesome, very easy, pretty fairly easy to find in the trade. But a colubrid, if you look at them, their scales are different. See how their scales are kind of all one directional? Their scales like are little like fish scales kind of. They all go one direction. Whereas if you look at the Woma python, that's not what I meant to click. That's not what I meant to click. Where the fuck is my view? Oh my god, there it is. Jesus Christ, that scared me. Uh, if you look at their scales, see how they look more integrated. Like you can't really tell if there's a direction to the scales. They're super super small, really really fine and smooth. That's because what pythons do to eat their food, to like capture their food, is they grab it with their mouth and then they wrap their entire body around it as fast as possible and they start constricting. And they hope to squeeze the animal until it doesn't breathe and it dies and then they swallow it and eat it. So if their scales were one directional, it's almost like a fishing hook or a barb or something. Their scales would get stuck. Like that pythoning wouldn't work. That wouldn't be efficient at all. Their scales would peel up and get stuck on whatever they're spinning around, so on and so forth. Whereas king snakes or colubrids have this type of scale structure that's directional because they're built for speed. So the one, in my opinion, downside to a king snake or any colubrid is that they are kind of fast, skittish, zippy little snakes, and their defense mechanism. Pythons don't, they're never going to be afraid of you. If a python bites you, it's because it thought you were food. They're just not very, like, you know what I'm saying? Not much blinking on upstairs. If a python bites you, it straight up just thought you were food. Colubrids, however, because they are speedy, like fight or flight, runaway kind of snakes that live in that kind of mode, they have a defense mechanism called musking. And all colubrids have this. So bull snakes, king snakes, garter snakes in your backyard, garter snakes, however you say it. They basically explosively shit all over you, but it's a special kind of shit that stinks to all high heaven like a rotting skunk that died inside of an animal, was forgot about for weeks, and then someone put it in a used douche, wrapped it in gift wrapped in March, and gave it to you for Christmas. And getting that smell off or out of anything is, I mean, have you ever just like taken a college test? I'd rather do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a python won't shit on you, but it's going to be because they're relaxed and comfortable and they just decided to shit. Whereas colubrids, it's a defense mechanism and it's horrific. Not my thing. I don't like smelly shit. So, like, no pun intended. None of my animals have scent. Like, I do all bioactive enclosures. I don't have like an animal smell in my house. Whereas if you got colubrids, the shit's gonna stank. Like, their shit, regardless, is just gonna fucking smell really bad. Like, you should always be cleaning your reptiles' cages. But that's, to me, that's the kind of back and forth between them. It's really up to you. All snakes have pretty much generally the same care as long as you're not getting really, really extreme with your weird breeds and stuff like that. You know what I mean? King snakes are fucking cool. And if you get it as a baby and you handle it regularly, meaning not once a week, meaning like once a day for an hour, you take your baby king snake out and just handle it while you're watching TV or something. If you do that, they won't musk because they will become accustomed to it as they grow with you and they won't fear you. So they won't feel the need for a defense mechanism. You see what I'm getting at? So if you buy an adult that's never been handled, the chances are it'll musk on you. But if you get it as a baby, like I've gotten all my snakes as they were itty bitty little worms. So none of them are defensive with me. Like I am a normal in their life. There's no bond because it's a reptile, but you know what I mean. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, that was a huge vomit about snakes. I didn't want to not give you the information that I think is good. How large is Cersei and Midna? Cersei is probably, excuse me, she's about 4.5 feet. Midna, she's about, I think she's topped out at about 4. Man, I think Cersei's about 5. She's about 5.5, if I'm thinking about it right. It's hard because Midna is my ball python, like we were talking about earlier, the pet rock snake. So she's never stretched out, ever. She's always this. So I can tell when she gets fatter, and sometimes she's stretched out. So I'm like, oh shit. But they mostly stay in a ball, whereas Cersei is up all over branches all the time. Yeah, so if you get them, I mean, honestly, I always encourage getting it as a baby just so it's also, I think it's less intimidating. When you have a baby animal that when it's grown up, it could be a little intimidating because anything can bite. It's just creating the most safe environment so they don't feel like the need to bite. They'll never, you know, bite out of defense because they don't have fangs. They have teeth like a fish. You know what I mean? Like just those little like sandpapery teeth. It's mostly just meant for friction to hold on to something. I think the only python that has scary teeth is tree pythons. Correct me if I'm wrong. Emerald tree boa? Is that the one that has like fucking vampire fangs? I think. I think that's the only python that has fangs, and it's because they're a tree boa, so their fangs are kind of like a fishing hook, kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's to hold their prey in the air so they don't drop it. It's fucking wild though. You can have those as pets. I wouldn't. That's got to be a painful bite on an oops. Whereas if my snake bites me, it's like if a gecko bit you. You know, you'd be like, oh. I haven't fed them. I try not to. Oh man, I always say I'm gonna bring them out the day after I feed them. What's today? Sunday. Tomorrow is the day I normally feed them. Actually, penis. If you remind me on Tuesday or Wednesday, yes. I just the likelihood of them accidentally biting me because tomorrow's the day they feed is so high. I feel like every time someone asks me though it's Sunday, I feel like I'm always using this excuse. I always feed them on Mondays. So if you guys ever want to see my girls, just ask me on Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday is the perfect day because then they're not hungry, but also they've had time to digest, so they're not gonna like puke their rat up or whatever. If any of them were out, I would have pointed my camera that way, but they're all in their dens for their sleepy times. Wait, what was the new insult? I missed it. It's glorious. It's a glorious here in evening England. My NFL team are winning. Who's your team? The first thing I watched on Disney Plus was a King Cobra documentary. You know what the wildest things I learned? You probably know this, but the wildest thing I learned about King Cobras that I didn't know was that they fucking eat snakes. Their main diet is just eating other snakes. Oh, that's true. Lizzie, did you ever see? Did I? I don't know if you were here the day I showed everyone what it looks like when a tegu shits or a monitor. Everybody, like, I'm sure you've seen them on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But there's a couple people who have gotten famous off these giant lizard pets they have that they can put a leash on, and they have these huge jowly cheeks, and they look kind of adorable. And they're called a I believe it's a. It's not a tegu. It's not a tegu. It's a. Oh God, not a monitor, not a tegu. What is the word? I'm blanking on it. Fuck my ass. They're huge lizards. I mean, they're enormous, but they have explosive shits. Is it a tegu? Oh my God, did I guess right? Oh my God. They literally, like, if you have one, they're so big, they basically need a child's bedroom to give them adequate space just to turn their body around. But let me show you a fucking tegu shit. Oh no, it's more like imagine trusting a fart and a gallon of liquid flies out. Imagine that. That's what it's like. It is insane, and the smell apparently is phenomenally bad. Hold on, I must show you. I must. It's alarming. Alarming. This isn't a snake. This is a lizard, by the way, just in case anyone's scared. This is gonna be a lizard. How the fuck do you spell tegu? Tegu? Aha! Hold on. Don't listen. Oh, hell yeah. Perfect, Lizzie. I know the little girl's like, I don't think she was ready. I know. I... Look at her. Oops, they did it again. Sorry, that's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. So, fun facts. Reptiles and birds poop and pee all at the same time at the same hole explosively like that because they lay eggs. And if they were to have a bladder like you and I that holds their nitrogenous waste, that urea and nitrogen would seep out enough that it would dissolve what creates a hard egg that they lay. So if they laid an egg, it would just be like a soft egg and would die. Like there would be no viability to it. So they have to like have these explosive nitrogenous shits that all come out at once, which is that. Which is why I highly discourage getting a giant lizard as a pet because that happens multiple times a day. Good luck, bitch. You can't potty train that bitch. That ain't happening. Did you hear the sound? It's same with, I mean, reptiles are basically birds. They're soft, but they're not like fluidy soft. I have a huge lizard. Not really an attempt at self-deprecation joke on topic though. As a dumb kid looking to get bit, oh god, I once took apart a pile of bricks to pick up a startagama. Did it get you? Did you get bit? I used to hunt lizards all the time as a kid. I used to go to Arizona to my parents' house and flip every fucking rock within a mile radius of my grandparents' house looking for lizards all the time. Loved doing that shit. Big fan. It sounds when I plop a wet mop on the floor. Oh my god, why are you like this? That hurts me inside. Ew. It looks like a bad smoothie. It looks like a melted milkshake. Yuck. Could we soften an egg if we piss on it? Maybe if you soaked it in the piss. I think it'd have to be soaked in like the hot piss. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about kidney stuff for that. I just know the basics. It's like being gassed in prison. Oh my fucking god. How to Train Your Dragon didn't have Hiccup cleaning up Toothless's extraordinary shits that we know of. Hi, Miniman. How are you, love? Good morning, CJ. Happy Sunday, as always. I hope it's wonderful. I hope you're relaxing. How are you? The forbidden curry. Oh my fucking god. Why? Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Absolutely not, penis. No. Why are you like this? Why did music just start out of fucking nowhere? This is why I need to clean tabs. I apologize. That was super loud and deafened everybody. Fuck you. I hate autoplay with the bane of all my being. All of it. I apologize. That was a terrible time we all had together just then. Tab cleanup on aisle 3. I do keep you around. Well, I mean, keep you around. That's like saying I keep around herpes. Like, what are you going to do? What the fuck is this? Is that a diaper? Do I want to know what this is? Why do you do this the moment I put on a good song? Do you want me to associate a good song with a diaper? Is this why you hate me secretly? What the fuck is that? Oh my god, cute though. Wait, what the fuck is that? Is that real? Shut up. I thought that was a toy. Oh my god. Oh my god. I realized it was a Chuck's pad right as I played it. I didn't. It looked like a fucking diaper. I was like, man, what are you doing? That's a real dog. Oh my god. Oh, Lizzie, I'm so glad I mean, Lizzie, what the fuck? That's right, bitch! Oh my god. Did they just fucking protect? That makes me so joyous. That's almost fucked. Oh my god. That little puppy looked fake though, for real, right? I'm not the only one. Like that was so fucking cute. I once brought a chameleon home. I put it in a shoebox and I just wanted to hydrate it. I put a super low well, it was probably going to die anyways to be honest. If it drowned in that, like, you know what I mean? It was probably beyond help. It was good on you to try. About those jellyfish? Oh god. Of course, Lizzie, I would never think that you would ever throw anything terrible at me. I would trust it. I'm just gonna question it forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so about those jellies, I just found this. Wait, that's the link that I was looking at. The 12 hours of jelly combs? I think that's literally the exact link I was looking at that I pulled up. Of the like the lit up ones? Get the fuck out of my head. He said, "No, don't be mean to the baby. The baby didn't know." I mean, honestly, Lizzie, even though it looks risky, at the worst, it would have been fucking hilarious. Like, I wouldn't have assumed you would have given me anything risky in a bad way. Risky in like a, oh, this fits the situation in a really inappropriate way that we all have to laugh at now together, so we're not bad people. You know what I mean? Uh, wait, they look like dicks? Stop. Imagine if your dick had light up lights. If you look at them, I mean, it played when I clicked it. It looks like little hairs that are, I don't even, oh, did that kind of, okay. That's kind of what a penis is anyways. An LED powered showed independently moving ribs for her pleasure. I mean, it kind of does look like the pink weird cock ring I found under my parents' mattress when they asked us to move it when they were moving. So the dogs are so thrown off. I think this is the first drop frames in like over a month, and the dogs are so weirded out because Zach's office is closed. So they're just like sitting down the hallway, like, does father not love us? Feels a little weird. Feel a little bad. Welcome back, everybody. We should cheers and play some Control? Yeah. I cannot get over how fucking cool. If you weren't here for the end of stream yesterday, I highly advise watching the VOD because holy shit. The game there's a part of the game that was so fucking epic. Oh my god. If you have played the game, the part I'm talking about is the ashtray maze. I think that's what it's called. Or the ashtray labyrinth or something like that. Holy crap. It was so fucking fun. Easily one of the the most fun things I've ever done in a game. Like, it was so fucking cool. It was like metal. You put on, literally, your character throws on some headphones and you start running through this psychotic maze, and this amazing metal music starts playing. It was amazing. That's all I have to say. I had a question. Do you think playing the game on DirectX 11 would make it look better for you guys than playing it on DirectX 12, or does that have any effect on how it looks on OBS? For y'all nerds out there. By that I mean people smarter than me. Cheers. Dude, no, I don't even know the plot. Do you want me to give you what I think it is? Yeah, yes, I can summarize it in like a sentence. I play a girl whose little brother was kidnapped when we were really little, and I found out where he's being held, and I'm infiltrating the place to get him. That's the main drive. That's the main story drive that I've gotten out of it so far. I'm a pissed off sister looking for my brother who was stolen. And then all of this is where he's being held, basically, and I'm learning about like my history and how that might not actually be what happened, but I'm not sure yet. Cheers. Thank you, Myron. I'm gonna try it.